two brothers and gamers that have been playing games since the early 1980s. Combined, they have over 65 years experience. Join them each week as they discuss and rant about gaming and entertainment news. This is Generation X Gaming.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another week, another episode of Generation X Gaming, the weekly podcast that goes over a few of the top stories from the past week, and we rant along the way. Joined each and every single week by my brother, Sarge. What's going on, Sarge?
Yep.
I paused my game to be here. You paused Fallout 4, did you?
Well, I did play a little bit of Fallout 4 because I wanted to see it. And I'll wait for the segment to start before I start going into stuff. I know you want me to follow the flow chart.
Generation X Gaming is here weekly, Thursday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern. You can also listen to us on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Anchor.fm. If you want to watch the past broadcast, you can watch it right here on YouTube. If you like what we do here, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, or you become a member as little as $5. And as soon as the stream started up, YouTube Lurker with the 10 bomb. Thank you very much for the 10 gifted memberships for YouTube Lurker with the continued support. Appreciate that very much. Appreciate that. On today's show, we got lots of different stories to talk about. We got a whole rumor mill, Sarge. I don't have a I
got to get my tinfoil hat.
No, not that type of rumor. We have rumors. We have like 4 stories. We got the future of Xbox looks like a lot like a PC. We got what's happening with Fortnite in the next couple seasons. We got talks about the next Spider-Man game coming in. We got talks about Sony, about Helldivers 2 maybe coming to Xbox down the road. We're going to be talking about Embracer Group. They split the thing up into 3 separate categories. We've got Brotato update. We got IGN, an Xbox independent developer for Xbox coming out next week. We got MetaQuest making headsets just to play Xbox games, right? So we're going to be talking about that as well. We're going to be talking about Fallout, with the Fallout update, what happened with the Fallout show. We're going to talk about Fallout London being blindsided. We're talking about milestones for Bethesda this week. We're also going to talk about big quarter for some publisher, but also did layoffs. We're going to talk about Atari. We're going to be talking about Game Workshop. You know a little bit of information. You're a Warhammer guy. We're going to talk about.
I'm not a Warhammer guy. I know about Warhammer.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you they them Warhammer? No.
I'm just letting you know. I'm not. I can't quote all the lore.
No. I get that. But you out of us two, you are the Warhammer guy.
Warhammer guy.
Yeah, you're the Warhammer guy.
Yeah, I'm the Warhammer guy.
We're going to talk about fetch quests a little bit. We're going to talk about Steam.
Quest.
Right. Just Quest. Yeah, just
Quest.
a fetch quest. Yeah. We're going to talk about Xbox might be getting Steam and Epic Game Store and GOG and a couple other stories. We might not get to all these stories, but these are a few of the top stories in the past week, and we rant along the way. So let's start off with what we've been playing. All right. Another week, Sarge. What you been playing?
Well, as a closet fat guy, I'm upset that I ate all my cookies before the show started. And now I'm looking at an empty plate with coffee.
Do you want more cookies?
My inner fat guy does.
Did you have chocolate chip or did you have Oreo?
You can't do Oreo. I'm on stream, bro. Oreo stuff all on your teeth. Can't do that.
Yeah, chocolate chip.
What's wrong with you? Yeah, chocolate chip. All right. So once again, we time traveled for another week, and honest to God, it's like I get off with you tonight. I'll go to work for the next couple days, then the Sunday thing happens, and then I go to work again, and all of a sudden, poof, I'm back here again.
Yep,
it's like
Thursday.
It's a weird. My division of labor for the week is such that when I come to see you again, it doesn't ever feel like a week. It's weird.
It vanishes. Like Monday through Thursday, or I should say Monday through Wednesday it's like one day. So I do Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday is the weekend. Is just one day. It just feels like one day.
And then one more
and
day.
then one more day. So my week is like 3 days: Thursday, Sunday, Tuesday. That's it.
And it's a MTW day. That's what it is. All right. So unfortunately, a couple of bad news for the chat. I know everyone's thinking, "Oh God, Sarge has done it. He finally cracked open Baldur's Gate 3." I'm sorry to let you guys down again.
No, you still haven't cracked it open.
I still have not
cracked
it open.
You waited 3 months to get this game.
Well, because I got used to waiting.
No, I understand.
It's not a big deal, right?
You know what's crazy?
I wonder. I'm always concerned.
Well,
I'm concerned if I don't get them since Christmas. I'm like, is it coming?
I wonder because, Water, how many hours do you have in Baldur's Gate 3? I have 11 and a half. Okay? I love the game. Have 11 and a half hours. Haven't gone back to it and played it.
Okay, so see, what you just said right there is one of my greatest fears.
Yep.
Is that I'll be 11 hours in and then wander away and not care about coming back. Like, I don't want that. I want to play.
Yeah, well, my thing is here, like, Water's stuck at 11, okay? He bought it, returned it, bought it again, played 11 hours of it.
How much does he drink? What's happening? How do you buy it, return it, and then buy it again? What I want to hear.
I wonder how many people.
This is the segment we're on. Hang on. One thing at a time.
Yeah, one thing at a time. I wonder how many people bought this game and haven't played it. Like, they just bought it. We're like, this is the greatest game ever.
But they never played it.
But no one played it. Yeah.
But who returned it and then bought it again?
Water bought it and then returned it and then bought it again.
Water, explanation, please.
I can tell you. He told me. Okay. He couldn't get into it.
Said no.
No. He bought it and he couldn't get into it. He was like, I don't know. But then people started talking it up and saying it was good. I was like, oh, it's good. Right? Other people were saying it's good. He's like, you know what? I'm going to give it a better shot. So he bought it again and he started liking it. But then other games came out and then he was done. Now it's in his backlog. It's in my backlog. Right?
I don't want this gigantic backlog of shit. I just don't want it. So I want to play it.
Well, right. I'm telling you right now, Baldur's Gate 3 itself is a giant backlog. It's a game with hundreds of thousands of hours that you can put into it.
And I'm excited.
I saw that you put 70 hours in, or 70 days into Fallout, right? That's the type of game Baldur's Gate 3 is for you.
All right, time out. All right, so who has played Baldur's Gate 3 and not returned it or stopped playing it? Who has played it? Who in chat has played it all the way through? Or at least almost all the way through? A decent amount of hours. Let me see somebody. Raise your hand. Raise your hand.
Travis has, I believe.
I don't know if I could trust Travis right now. He gets all crazy. On show nights, he gets all crazy. He'll say yes to anything.
Travis also put 400 hours into a game he didn't like. So
that's what I mean. I don't know if I could trust anybody but Travis. I'll go to Travis if nobody else has done it. I'll go to Travis if nobody else has. Anybody else?
Dave says I'm 100 hours into Baldur's Gate 3.
All right, Dave.
Have not returned it.
Real quick question, Dave. Right? Can you transfer the characters from your BG2 game to BG3, or is it a fresh game? You got to start from BG3. You have to start the character then.
Robert Jones says that you haven't bought it, or you haven't played it.
All right, no worries. Just trying to get it out there. So, trying to get back on topic because this car's got street wheels and we are off road, bro. We need to get back onto the street. Okay, I want to roll the roll. I want to roll the road die. Come on.
There's no street here. This is how the show is.
What show? I thought you and I were just talking.
This is just the ranting part. Yeah, this is the ranting part.
All right, hang on. All right. So point being is that in a week's time, I could not crack open the game and sit down and play it the way I wanted to play it. I got a lot of other things going on, and I promised myself that when I have these things that I've focused on that are serious for me, that I would not segue myself and start using fun stuff to interject into the stuff I need to do seriously, right? I got a lot of, I'm sure this one's going to take us the wrong way.
Responsibilities.
I got a lot of plates spinning on the little sticks. I got a lot of plates spinning, right? And so I got to keep these plates going. I can't just drop the plates, right? So that being said, it's right here. It's sitting right there to remind me to play it. It's right there. So I played a couple of games that I haven't played in a while because I know this is going to sound strange, but I didn't eat any garbage like for the last 4 or 5 days, garbage food,
except for the cookies that you just ate
just now, right? up to now.
I'm sure you haven't Dipped in
I have
any
it.
cookie. Okay, all right.
I have it. Right.
That's what you say.
There were 3 nights this week I actually went to bed without dinner. I didn't even eat dinner. I just like fasted and went to sleep.
That's not healthy either. But anyway, go ahead.
No, it's not. It's not healthy, but it was cleansing. Let's put it that way. So point being is I was not under the influence of any chemical altering food and or drugs. Right? So I was thinking differently. I was seeing things a little differently. Brain was firing on all cylinders, and I was like, okay, right. I want to do this. I want to do this. I want to do this. So I started playing a couple games I haven't played in a while. Okay. Right? I got an email. Somebody challenged me to some Total War game that I was like, I haven't played in a while. Who all of a sudden just called me? I think it was one of my old friends that I used to play with. And I loaded up Warhammer Total War 3.
Okay.
Right. So I've been playing that 2 or 3 days.
Okay.
Yep. I've been playing Dune Spice Wars, of course. I'm in some kind of crazy power trip group of these like 6 guys who play every couple days.
You're in the strategy mindset right now.
Yeah, I am. Yeah. So those 2 pretty much eat up most of the week. Then I take a deep breath and I play Hell Let Loose for 2 nights, right? But I play that with a bunch of once again, these are guys who play first-person shooters, team-based games. I'm in another clan, and so that's always a good time. There's a guy in there that sounds like me, talks like me, and they all laugh because we're in the same squad. They don't know who's talking. They don't know which one of us is talking, and so we're talking about the same stuff. Like he'll say, "It's like we need to go to E4, go to the southwest corner," and I go, southwest corner is good. Like I go to E4, E5 northwest corner.
He thinks he's just responding to himself.
Right. You hear both of us, and it sounds like it's the same guy. It's like I don't know where we're going. Who's in charge? Like who's the squad lead? Like they don't know who to hear.
Like who's on first? What's on second?
So I was pushing my computer to the limit. I had all the graphic settings turned up, all to juicy levels, right? And I keep saying this. Do you remember how Lord of the Rings: Battle for Middle Earth 2 played? Remember how that played?
Yeah.
Remember how the map on that game was like a living map? Yes. Right. So Total War 3, that's the whole map. The map is a living map always. Right. And so I don't know what it is about that game, but once you get past the economics of it and you're actually to the street level and you have to play, you're controlling like 1,200 guys in blocks, like old school type of stuff. Like I get into that. I'm like in a dark room, like a troll with just the monitor on, with the headphones on and surround sound.
You're just missing one of these. You're just missing one of these. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm jealous because I cannot grow what you have. I can't grow the beard. I look like a serial killer if I let the beard go too long.
We all can't be blessed with actual genetic men inside of us.
Yeah. I plenty of hair everywhere else. I guess that's where it went.
I got that problem too.
Yeah. Plenty of hair everywhere else. So Total War 3, I don't know if you guys ever played it, but there's so many factions. Like legitimately, I believe there's. I don't want to underscore this. Maybe like 25 or 27 factions.
Okay.
Right.
There's quite a bit. Let me see.
It's crazy, right?
Total War. Go ahead. Continue.
All right, and each faction plays completely different. So like before I play a guy, I have to go online and look up stuff on vids to figure out what I'm doing because I'll play a faction for like a week or 2, and then when I change factions, I got to relearn the faction completely. It's not like you're just playing the red team and the blue team. It's not the same thing. It's if you have guys who not played Total War, Warhammer
15 different races. Is that correct?
Oh, it's way more than 15.
Is it more than that?
Yes, way more than 15. I know this because when you buy here's their greatest scam ever, and it's a great scam. When you buy Total War 3, you can only play, I think it's like 10 factions or 15 factions. But if you had Total War 2 already, then the factions from that game are unlocked to you. But if you only got Total War 3, then you have to go back and buy the factions separately. Or you can do what I do and just wait for Warhammer 2 to be on sale, and then you buy that for no reason other than to get the other factions unlocked, which is genius.
Now,
it's the worst microtransaction joke ever.
I was just going to say, is that considered a good microtransaction or a bad microtransaction?
It's a way for them
to sell their old stuff.
The reason why I say it's genius is because either you buy the factions separately for like $6 a pop or $7 a pop, depending, or you buy the entire game and you get all the factions. So in essence, if you missed a game in the past and you buy the new game, it almost entices you to buy the old game, even though you know you're not going to play it just for the unlock of the factions, right? Which is why I say it's genius. Yeah, I'll look it up. I'll let you know after.
Yeah, there's a lot here.
Yeah,
there's no number.
Yeah,
but because they don't say, because when you type it in, Total War, Warhammer 3, total factions, it's only giving me the total factions for 3, but you can go back and buy 2 and 1, correct? So,
well, Travis, I don't want to start throwing rocks at the screen now, but I also play Soulstorm. I'm playing a Marine campaign currently right now, and I think because I was so, and you're gonna laugh at me on this one, I was so used to playing on a slower PC that I had to up my game on reaction time. My key hits per minute is so weak from not playing games like that for so long that it took me 2 weeks, because I play on hard, right? And I couldn't build the base fast enough and get units in place before the AI bulks up and steamrolls you, right? And so I'm playing a Marine campaign right now, and I'm getting my ass kicked. And I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. And so, like, I'm practicing how fast to build the base. I'm practicing how to get the guys out. Like, it's madness. But I love that game. I want to see a Total War game, but I want to see 40K version. That's what I want to see. I want to see Total War Warhammer epic 40K, like the future stuff, the Eldar, the Marines, the Orcs, the Chaos. That's what I want to play. That's the game I want to play. Like, they do fantasy, and they fucked up Dawn of War 3 so badly. Don't even look. Nobody even justifies its existence. That's how bad Dawn of War 3 was, right? And Travis, I'm not sure if you ever watched this, but the guy called oh my god, what's his name? Ingus. Oh my god, I can't remember his name. He's a YouTube video guy who does the play. He does the playbacks.
That narrows it down.
It's kind of. I can't remember his name. Enos.
Not that many people on YouTube making videos.
Oh my god, my brain is fried, bro. Point is, he does the play-by-play on team games.
Yeah, I got you.
Right. So I watch him, and he does Dawn of War 2 playbacks, like 3v3, and the guys who play that, they get all their mods set up, and all the mods work on PC. It's fantastic. It's not like it stops the game from working. And they pick all their teams. They got all the paint jobs that they want. Everything looks badass, and basically he does the play-by-play. Oh man, it's. I used to watch the StarCraft ones, but the StarCraft ones got boring after a while because the British guy got on my nerves. I don't know where he's from, but I definitely know he's British. It's not. And by the way, I know the difference between British, South African, and Australian. I've been in this circuit long enough. I know the difference between those three people. So don't start.
Yeah, we got a lot. We got a lot of Europeans. They'll get on you.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But yeah, I've marked it on my calendar from last year. And I know you're gonna think I'm crazy on this one, but I marked it on my calendar from last year. And I looked back at the calendar, and this time last year, I've got it blocked off in the end of February all the way to the beginning of April, which is my strategy. I play strategy games. I have it marked down. So I'm pretty close to the cycle renewing itself. I'm just a little farther down than I was last year. But this is strategy time.
People in chat are throwing names out at you. Loco, Jags.
You know what? You guys are gonna make me look it up. All right, go over to you. What games have you been playing? And I'll
you didn't
come
even
back.
tell us what you played.
I did. Spice Wars, Warhammer 3,
right.
Hell Let Loose.
I've only been playing one game, right? Which is hilarious, right? Because this game for me, you know what I realized, Sarge, as we're ranting along here.
I'm not ranting.
No,
just talking.
I understand that. I love Bethesda games. I do. I love Fallout 3.
You are behind me, so don't even start saying that you love Bethesda games.
But this is what I'm saying. I love Bethesda games because I love Fallout 3. I love Fallout 4. Okay, Starfield came out. I put almost 200 hours into the game. Okay, even though with all the problems that it had, I love what I was doing in that game. Like I like a game where I could just kind of lose myself and kind of do whatever I want. Right?
Yeah.
And
yeah,
I played a lot of Fallout 3. And Fallout 76, right?
Indrid.
Indrid.
Indrid. Indrid cast.
So when Fallout 76 came out, I didn't buy it. Brain bought it for me at launch.
You know my story.
Right?
You know my story.
So I started playing the game, and we put 82 hours in. You guys know this. I put 82 hours in, and I had a blast. It was glitchy, but I didn't have any major issues like that Ralph had, right? When he was even what Skill Up was talking about. He was like, "This is the worst game ever." I was like, "I'm not having any of these issues." Put 82 hours in, and then I got the massive bug where my guy went invisible. I couldn't get out of my armor. I couldn't interact with any of the stuff, and I was just like, "Okay, I'm done." I stopped playing for a really long time, and then I went back to it when they brought out the other expansion. I put another additional like 80 hours into that expansion when it came out, and I haven't really touched it since then. And then the goddamn show comes out, right? The show comes out, and I'm like, you know what? Leading up to the show, I said, I'm going to jump back into Fallout 76. Leading up to the show, kind of, that's what you do, right? We'll play the game, we'll watch the show, and we'll talk about it. The show comes out, and I'm hooked. I am hook, line, and sinker back into Fallout 76, right?
That's because of the show.
It is. It's part
and that's marketing.
Well, it's about the show, and it's also about the game itself. They've done a lot of updates to the game. It's a much better game than it was when it came out 5 years ago.
The updates kept you, but the show got you to go back.
Correct. The show got me to go back.
That is the definition.
It got me to go back.
Of marketing.
It got me to go back 3 months early or 2 months early because the update for the map I would have definitely gone back to in June. Okay. Yep. Well, I'm back in now. I'm going back. I've been logged in every single day for the last 18 days, right? Because I went before the show came out, like about a week before the show came out.
I get it.
And now every day, me and Mr. Luke, we get on, we do the dailies together. And just last night, getting ready to put the Fallout 4 thing in, I downloaded Fallout 4. I logged into my character that's 9 years old, started playing it. I was like, man, this is good. I really like this. The VAT system, I did it on stream today. I just love the VATs. I just love that world. But as I was playing, I was like, I kind of like Fallout 76 because I like the co-op. I love the co-op. Okay. Yeah, I've eaten in real life for 5 days. My character in the game hasn't eaten in 5 days. Right. I just stopped eating and drinking. I was like, whatever. I don't need it. Right. But I absolutely just adore what I'm enjoying right now in Fallout 76. And I know people are going to look at this and go, Jesus Christ, there's so many games out there. This game has got me hook, line, and sinker. And I don't know. I'm just really enjoying the game. I got my build going on now. I found a new rifle. I got the Western. What the hell is it called? Luke, you got the same weapon as me. What's it called? The Western. I forget what the damn thing is. Western style or Western. But it's a rifle. I got my rifle build going on. I gotta get a better roll because the roll that I have on my rifle right now is it's pissing me off because it does a 5% damage for 9 consecutive hits. Well, the gun only holds 7 bullets. So I'm only getting 35% bonus and not the 45% bonus. Okay. So I'm like, I got to re-roll this, and I need more legendary mods and legendary, cores. And you can't just roll that one perk. They made it where you have to roll. When you roll, it's all or none. If I roll a level 1 star, it only makes the gun a 1 star. If I roll a 1-2, it gives me random 1, random 2, and then if I roll a 3, it does a 1, a 2, and a 3. Okay? So I don't like that, but at the same time, so every time you roll for a module, it is straight up it's a straight up roll the dice, and you might not get the best roll. So you're just that's the game. That's the end game. Getting the roll and seeing if you get that roll. And then once you get that roll, you do massive damage. So a lot of people are saying, oh, it's bullet spongy. And people watch me shooting 1,000 shotgun shells into a guy to try to get him down. But
I was watching. It just looks hilarious. Like you,
yeah,
in his face, like 8 or 9 shots to the face. Come on, bro.
Yeah. Right?
Once again, understand it's a video game. I understand.
But that's 100% not my build. You know what I'm saying?
I get it. Listen, no game has to be 100% realistic. Yeah. No game has to be 100% realistic. All I'm saying is in a real-time game, if you're not using VATS, and the guy's got armor on, but his head has no armor, and you do a shotgun blast to the face, you should hear the satisfying popping sound, and he goes down. Yeah. But if you can't get the cursor on his head because he's moving around and you're hitting the armor, no problem.
Yeah. Jason, it is if you don't have the right build, right? I watch some guys, man, my level, even under my level, when you have the right build and you have the right cards and you have this, it's a 2-shot. It's like Division. When people think Division's a bullet spongy, but if you have the right build, you just melt the guys super fast. That's exactly how Fallout 76 is, but you have to get the build.
Hey,
right?
Who wants to play Darktide? Anyone? No?
Darktide is a bullet spongy, right?
No Darktide? Nobody don't like Darktide? Just kidding. Hey, hang on, 30. I reclaim my time. Getting back to the game I was playing.
Oh, is this like court? Yeah, okay.
I reclaim my time. Right. So
pause on time. All right.
After listening to your show earlier today, and chat was saying how that Bethesda released the patch today. I didn't think it was today. I thought it was coming out this week, coming up, but it was coming out, you said, relatively soon. So you guys said it was active this morning.
Yeah, it went live this morning when I was on stream. Yeah.
Yep. So I downloaded everything. I loaded it up, and I was playing Fallout 4 and set the thing to performance mode. I have to say, number one, it looks like when I watch you play 76, right? So it's got that kind of motion to it, right? I thought whatever it is that they did, and let's be fair, we knew that they were going to do this to Fallout at some point because how many remasters have they done for Skyrim, and how good that looks, right? So doing it for Fallout 4, we knew it was coming. But I have to say, hearing my Xbox fan actually go on makes me think that they're actually trying to use the power of the Xbox Series X.
If you played this on PC, nothing really changed. They have an ultra wide screen mode now and stuff like that. But this update was mainly for PlayStation 5 and console. They broke the PlayStation 5 right now, so people on PlayStation Plus with this update, they can't download it if they don't. It's not free for the people that owned it. They had to buy it. So it did break some things. But when I looked at it, it looked good for the short 15 minutes I was in the game looking around and playing. Visually, like in the room, looking at the television set, I was like, wow, this looks good.
It looks very crisp.
Yeah.
The draw distance is insane considering it's console and crisp. Not only does the distance drawn in is good, it's not popping in, right? The movement of the characters.
Oh, it's much better.
Completely changed.
Much better.
Right?
The NPCs move faster and stuff.
Right, I actually feel like I'm in a gun battle with these guys. And then I started realizing some things were happening that were never happening before. And I don't think you understood what I was saying, but I'll say it again. So when I approached this raider camp, right, and a guy was literally chasing me. He saw me, and I started running away, and he was chasing me down. He stood in the window, looked at me, and he went like this. He did like the come here thing, and I'm like,
I don't remember.
When did they start doing that animation? I don't remember that animation ever. The guy looked at me and did one of these. I'm like, what? What?
I don't remember that when I played Fallout 4. Maybe chat does. I don't know.
It seems like the combat is almost. I don't want to say it's like Starfield, but Starfield's more janky, even though it's trying to do the proper frames. This one, I was slamming the controller back and forth. I was looking for tearing or clipping, and I'm like, they did a nice job. Right now, I'm not going to say it's stable because it crashed like 6 times. Right,
normal.
so
that's a
that's
feature.
normal.
That's
it's Bethesda. Yeah. It's a feature. What I didn't like, though, right, and this is a small didn't like, is the fact that none of my mods are in there anymore. It wouldn't register the mods.
I read that if you had a save with mods on it, it deletes your save.
It did.
Yeah.
I lost 3 characters, bro, because they were all modded.
I wonder if they would come back once they fix it.
Those were my longest characters. One character was 11 days. Another character was 9 days. I think the other character was maybe 6.5 or 7 days. Like, that's a lot, bro. That's a lot that I lost. Now, I did a fresh start, right? Fresh start, started over clean, went through the game, and I went to a couple spots right away after getting out of the vault. I went to the Super Duper Mart because it's pretty quick on. I went down to Diamond City, and then I went over to the castle.
Chat, just so you know, Sarge has like 70 days worth of time into Fallout 4. Like he loves this game.
I'm hoping that the guys who did the mods will just now go back and tweak the mods so they'll work inside the thing. Now, this is the part that aggravates me a little bit. I looking through the notes. I was looking through the patch notes. I didn't see any confirmation of them acknowledging that they fixed all the things that the unofficial Fallout 4 patch made by modders had made that fixed all the broken quests that were in the game originally. So you gave me a performance thing, you say blah, 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 but you don't say that we took the unofficial patch and we just left it in the game because it fixes all the broken stuff that we never fixed, right? That's all I'm saying. So in that aspect, I was a little aggravated because there's no confirmation of it. Yeah, it looks pretty. The guys are moving well. The weapon, I don't even use VATS, bro. I like chasing guys down and trying to hide behind the wall and do the shots.
I like using VATS in Fallout 4. The slow motion animations, and you see the heads explode.
I'll say this. When I was playing the Super Duper Mart, right, and the ghouls started coming at me through the shopping carts and things, the frame rate and the crispness gave me that little tingles inside like this was real just for a moment, even though I know it's a video game, guys. But it made me feel like it looked so good and clean that I felt a little fear that these guys are going to be hard to stop. Like, I can't kill them with just the pistol. Thank God I had Mr. Handy with me, or Codsworth with me, right? Otherwise, I'd be dead. They move so quick, and it's not janky. So, like, you're actually fighting them.
Yeah.
Like, running around, you have to jump and dive, and you're fighting them hand to hand. So, like, I thought they did a good job. They did a good job.
I don't think that's for everyone, though, Dave. Like, I didn't see worse. This is what I don't like about when people report on certain things. Obviously, it can be broke for somebody and not broke for somebody else. And I do understand that people are getting, I did see that on Twitter, that people are getting worse frame rate or whatnot. It's like they're only getting like 40 frames or whatnot.
I watched the same videos.
I can tell you on my screen afterwards, I played a little bit, and it's better. It's a better thing. If it's not 30 and it's just 40 or 50, whatever it is, it's much smoother than it was. I don't know if I'm getting the 60 frame. I don't have anything linked up to it to measure the frames per second or whatnot, but it's a better experience in my opinion for what I played, for very little that I played. But yeah, I don't think everyone's getting the stuttering and everyone's getting the frame issues. Again, everyone had problems with Fallout 76. I played 82 hours. I had just a little bit of jankiness on certain battles. That was it. Everything else was fine. Right? That's not a lie. That's not over-exaggerating. Like, literally, I played for 82 hours, and there was very few. We would go to the Scorched Beast battles and stuff like that. You would see the stuttering, and that was horrible.
Does anybody here believe that Bethesda was going to release a patch and it was not going to break something?
Yeah, I mean,
anybody think that? I didn't think that. All I was excited for, and I feel bad for Dave, because now we'll have to wait 6 months, and I'm sure I'll have to wait 6 months to get my save characters back.
If you get them back, right?
If I get them back, right? So I understand what you're saying, Dave, but I like it. It's clean, and the motion and the characters, everything moves better. It's just better. And I'm like, okay, so I guess they actually cared a little bit. But like I said before, the only thing I'm upset with is you got rid of the unofficial patch that fixed all the broken quests. So now what I'm doing is I'm trying to like beeline for the quests that I know are broken to see if they're still broken in this new patch.
Right. Because
they didn't say nothing. It doesn't say anything. Right. So I know there's a couple level 3 store characters you can have. I know those are quest related. I can get them. I know there's a couple quests that unlock something else. I want to see if I can get them, and I want to see if I can mod the castle again, because of course the castle looks like shit if you don't have the mods.
Can you revert your save back to the old save, like the old version?
The save isn't there.
I know, but if you revert back to the old version, it will detect it because it would have the mods and stuff on it. The reason it's not detecting it is because the new updates screwed up the mods that you had on.
But it's not even in my list. I went into the. It's not even in my list.
It wouldn't be, because the mods would fuck it up.
Well, unless I could actually load the game to get rid of the mods, I can't get rid of the mods for that particular thing if it was there. I would have to have the game in the save file in order to remove the mod from it.
You would have to go back to the older version, remove the mods, then update the game.
If they're not there, they're not on the list. The character is not on my list. The only character that was on the list was the character that was not modded. That's the only one that was there.
Dave says it's smoother overall, but for some reason now I'm getting stuttering in random places that I've never been before for 200 hours on Xbox and 600 on PlayStation. Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
it's time to go down the checklist, Dave. Did you fully reboot your Xbox? Did you check your monitor?
Did you lick the disc?
No, you don't have to lick the disc. You have to go through all the nonsense, right? How much RAM do you have free inside the? You know, how much RAM is free?
Hard drive he's playing on the Xbox Series X, Jones.
Right? Yeah. Listen, I'm going through the stupid stuff, right? If your Xbox is too full, it doesn't have enough RAM, enough room for the RAM to change places. Sometimes that stutters it. Like there's all kinds of shit for Xbox. I remember I had the same problem with the Xbox One when I did that kind of thing.
Real quick, Dupla's up above said that he already 100% of the game, so I have no reason to go back. Right? That's one of the things that I kind of I'll look at as well. Like I played Fallout. I beat the game, and usually when I beat a game, the only way I go back is if I have nothing else to do, and I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna go back and play another game. Right now, Fallout 76, there's 500 quests, and I've done like 270 of them. So there's a whole bunch of quests I haven't done, and because I haven't done those things, I'd rather try something new than go back to an older game. Like I want to go back and play Fallout 4, but it's not gonna hold me because I'm playing 76 and there's something new that I haven't discovered yet there, right?
But that's what they wanted. They wanted you to play Fallout, but just that Fallout.
Right.
See, I think when they do this kind of thing, they know that the percent of people that are playing Fallout 76 because it had the thing that Fallout 4 didn't have, which is multiplayer, like having a friend to go around with, right? And that was a big deal. But to spend the time to do the updated patchwork for Fallout 4 is strange to me when you want everyone to go to 76. Right? It's almost like the stepping stool. Like, so you redid Fallout 4, hoping that people would go back and check it out to see what they did, and then hopefully when you play that, you're like, yeah, I still want to go back and play 76.
Yeah, I think all roads lead to 76.
You know what I mean? Like, why spend the time to do the update for Fallout 4 if you know that you just want people in Fallout 76? Because obviously you do. Because isn't it free on Steam right now?
It was. I don't know. Game Pass? Yeah, Amazon was giving it away for free for Fallout 76 and for Fallout 4 and for PC and for whatever. So they were doing discounts. They were giving it out for free. There's a whole bunch of stuff. So
right, you want everyone to get on 76.
Yeah. So there's a couple of stories for Fallout that I want to talk about as well, right? So because of the show, Sarge, all Fallout games rose up in player base, right? Fallout 4 had 165,000 people playing the game concurrently on Steam. Okay, so that was larger than it's been for years. Fallout 76 had a huge increase, so much so that Fallout 76 had 1 million people across all the consoles, PC, different platforms, 1 million people playing Fallout 76 in one day, right? Which was
marketing works,
right?
And you didn't even, and that's the beauty of it. They didn't even say during the show, play this game. All they did was play the show.
Yeah, there was no advertisements for the games during the show.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. At least I didn't get one. You just immediately went back to the game. Yeah, that's genius.
Yeah.
That's marketing.
So people went back. All the games, Fallout 1, Fallout 2, New Vegas, 3, 4, 76, Shelter. We talked a little bit about last week, right? Shelter went up like 80%, right? So they surpassed that. Another thing they did was, that was it. So that was just all the numbers there. Now, Fallout London devs came out, okay, while we're talking about Fallout. Okay, they came out and said that the comments of Fallout 4's next-gen update says that felt blindsided. And this is nothing against the developers themselves, the people that gave their spare time to make the mod for the game that they love, okay? In no way, shape, or form, and I mean this in a nice way, but it's going to sound really dickish of me, but in no way, shape, or form is Bethesda, a multi-billion-dollar company, obligated to reach out to somebody that's a modder, that's a fan, and the reason they're modding the game is because they love and they're fans of the game. Bethesda never reached out to them to go, hey, you should make this, right? This is all free will of the developers making the game because they love the lore, they love the world. There's like, you know what, we're going to make Fallout London. and they feel betrayed. They feel blindsided because they feel that
not blindsided.
They feel that there's no way, shape, or form that the Fallout show comes out that Bethesda wouldn't capitalize on marketing and making their games more prioritized over the free-to-play mod that they made for Fallout 4, right?
Is the mod going anywhere?
No. And that's just it, right?
If nothing else, it just makes them go back and make sure everything works. Again, just make sure it works.
Yeah, but so
you go through the process of what the actual game company would have to go through, and actually make sure your game works.
Right.
After patching.
When you say the modders fix their games for them, and they should give modders heads up, here's the thing: if Bethesda had to make an update for Fallout 4, and they went, well, we can't make this update because this would screw over Tim, who made this mod, and Susie made that mod, and we like Susie. Susie came to our last meetup, and we don't want to really piss off Susie, right? And Todd over here, not Todd Howard, but another Todd made this mod. Well, if we make this update, it's going to screw them over. They can't do that. They're like, we're going to make our fixes, and the people that took their spare time that love to make the mods for the actual game, they can fix it after we fix what we need to fix.
That's fine
because they make money. And the modders are doing it on their spare time because they're fans of the game.
Yeah, but let's give them benefit of the doubt, right? At least we know that when the modders go back and start to fix fix the mods again, that we know the mods will work, right? Because they worked the first time. Whereas Bethesda fixes something, and we know that Bethesda makes something broken again. So we know that all this really is Bethesda trying to do something good while really crapping on it in the background, and the modders going around and picking up the crap and making sure it works again. It's the same. As far as I'm concerned, it's a symbiotic relationship, and the modders, who don't get paid, by the way, and are doing it out of the kindness of their hearts because they love the game.
Because they love the game.
You guys are in the same boat. If you still love the game, then go ahead and fix it. If you don't and you're pissed off at it, that's fine. But you can't get mad at somebody. You're not being paid by them. I don't know what to tell you.
Well, Krebsy, to be fair, they're not fixing Fallout 4. They're adding to it. They're adding a whole expansion on top of Fallout 4, right? So they're not fixing Fallout 4. They're literally making their own game that's bigger than Fallout 4 itself as a mod.
Yeah, we're talking. I'm talking about two separate modders here, Krebsy. We're talking about the Fallout 4 modder, the Fallout London modders, and I'm talking about all the other modders that go around and fix what Bethesda would not.
Right. And what I'm saying is, it doesn't cost. They're like, hey, should we fix this? Well, it only affects 3% of the population that's playing the game. So do we take time to fix that? That's what they do. That's what a corporation and a business does. They're like, how many people are affected by this bug? Not too many. All right, we can put that on the back burner. Let's go fix some other things, right? Where a modder's like, this fucking thing's broke. I'm going to fix it. Because there is no budget. There is no thing. They're like, I'm going to fix it because I want to do it because I want to fix it, right?
Right, because I don't like broken stuff, right?
It's exactly right.
Either that modder has a good work ethic, or he has OCD, or both. I don't know. But the fact remains is, if he's trying to fix after something that breaks, that's what he does. Which is, by the way, is a good thing.
Correct. Dave, I agree with you. They should pay them and do something, but they can't. You know why? Corporate doesn't let other people make something because, for instance, I said this in my stream last week or this week. I forget what I said.
It was last week.
But I said, if there's certain things that, as an example I'll give you, is if I work for a television network and I'm shooting a movie or a television show on location in London, I have to get permits. I have to get resources. I have to pay a fee, a location fee and stuff like that. But if I'm a YouTuber, I can just show up in London, start filming someone holding a bottle of shampoo and doing the commercial, and I don't have to get anything signed, nothing. I just shoot it and run. Guerrilla filmmaking, okay? But if I'm a corporation, I got to jump through the hoops. So when Bethesda if they made a game out of Fallout London, they would have to get the rights to Big Ben or the whatever major areas in London, where the modders are like, yeah, we're just going to do it because they're not making any money off of it. They're not doing anything. So it's much easier for them to do whatever they want. So now if Bethesda decided to pay them, then they would have to jump through the hoops of, well, we have to get this in there, and how much is that going to cost? Well, what's this going to do? Well, the city doesn't really like it in there because it shows a demeanor that we don't want our city to look like a post-apocalyptic game. Yeah, this is exactly what happens in the corporate world. Yeah. So this is exactly why they can't just be like, hey, we really like your London game. Here, here's $100 million. Thanks for doing that for us. Haha. See you guys later. Like that doesn't work that way.
Right.
Yeah. Someone should make a movie with a series of flash mobs performing the scenes. Yeah. So that's the fall. I think I have one more Fallout story. Fallout 76 has an expansion coming out. Okay. Fallout 76 has a newly expanded map that's going to be on the south part of the. Let me bring this up on the screen. I don't know if they actually show it here. Let me see. It's got a storm coming. It says the public test servers of Fallout 76 Skyline Valley update is available now. Explore the newly expanded map and take your deep into the wooded heartland of Skyline Valley. Okay, so there's a whole backstory of this. There's actually their first original content I think they're bringing into Appalachia. It says the public test servers are live, and it's this whole section right here on the screen. So it's the south part of the map in between like the two areas at the very bottom. It's pretty chunky. They got like 17 locations or 18 locations that you can go see within Appalachia. There's a whole new story plot, whole new weapons, new bosses, new things. So every time you nuke an area, it would change the area just like it did in that. But these are new. So this is their first major update. Since this is coming out in June sometime, right? So the PTS is up now. You can go in there now on the PC version. Explore the area. They're adding the story to it next month in May for the PTS, for the public test servers. And then in June, it's supposed to launch. It's going to be free. It's going to be free. So it's just going to come into the game and you get to experience it. They were talking about this and they said they have a 5-year plan on top of this for Fallout 76. So you would hope that if this is just the only Fallout game coming out, that would be kind of depressing since that the last game was 9 years ago. Well, actually, the last Fallout 4 was 9 years ago. This has been out for 5, almost 6 years, and it's going to be out for another 5 years that they're supporting it. So that takes us, close to 2029, 2030, when maybe we get Fallout 5 leading into that. So we'll see what happens. I've been talking about hopefully maybe Obsidian makes New Vegas 2 or another company makes another Fallout game. They're all under the same umbrella now of Microsoft, so maybe they use the developers for that. But this is really cool for this game. This is going to be a huge expansion, so I think we're going to see a kick of numbers with that as well for Fallout 76. So that is the Fallout information that we have. So big numbers, expansion coming out. I still think they dropped the ball. One of my biggest shorts ever, 8,000 views. People upset because I said Bethesda dropped the ball. Amazon and Bethesda dropped the ball because they put it all as a one lump sum instead of weekly for the show. People are very upset about this, Sarge. They left paragraphs. The video was 47 seconds, 52 seconds, and they left a paragraph of dialogue because they were just so upset.
Well, that's your sweet spot, bro. Start doing hate clips.
I'm just gonna do hate clips of 52 seconds.
30-second clip got you 200 comments.
Yep.
I think you found your sweet spot.
All because I said that the binge model.
The truth. Yeah. Say the truth, and everyone freaks out.
Yeah.
Right. The last time I checked, I believe it was a couple shows back. You talked about how the best shows on streaming services that were doing the best were shows that were released weekly.
Weekly, yeah. Besides Netflix, all other top shows, okay, are all weekly shows that come out and people like watching.
Correct.
Because binge watching can still happen in this model because you just wait week after week after week after week, and then you watch them all at one time.
Then you can't talk to anybody.
But you don't get spoiled the entire season for everybody else if you started off. Yeah.
Right. Well, but let's be fair. I think because of the climate that we're in, and I know you understand what we're talking about here, is the fact that if they had relied on doing it weekly, they didn't know if the show was going to be bad, and they wanted to make sure at least they got it out because they were scared that it wouldn't do well. I think that I'm trying to be nice, by the skin of their teeth, they just got it to where the show was substantially decent. I know it's a crazy word. Substantially decent. Right? And so people liked it.
Right.
Right? It wasn't too woke. It was like the goal. It was just right. Right? It was just right. It wasn't too hot, wasn't too cold. It was
a Goldilocks.
Just right.
Yeah, it was a Goldilocks
right?
thing. Yeah.
It was just right. And so at the same time, I think that they were concerned that if they had postponed it and did weekly, that it wouldn't do as well. So they released it all at once.
Yeah, well, you can see a lot of reasons why it was supposed to be weekly, because leading up to the show's release, it was supposed to be a weekly show.
Panicking.
They were supposed to do 2 episodes for the first episode, like the first opening day. It was supposed to be 2 episodes, and then it was supposed to be the remaining episodes was every week after that. Okay, and then right before the show came out, they decided that they were gonna drop it all at the same time, and then they moved it up a day or 2 from the original date it was supposed to launch. Okay. Then you could also see that Fallout 76, the PTS wasn't supposed to be, but then when the whole show dropped, all of a sudden Fallout 76 opened up the public test servers for the new expansions that were coming out in June. Well, ironically, I don't know if they did this or didn't know they were doing this, if the show was on weekly basis leading up to the release of Fallout 76 expansion, it would have ended up in June. And then you would have watched the show each and every single week leading up to June. And then Fallout 76 would have had their expansion update come out. But because the show dropped all at one time, Fallout 76 released the public test servers to get people excited about the expansion that was coming out in Fallout 76 in June. So now people can test it. Then YouTubers can start talking about it. Right? It's this whole other thing now.
It would have coincided perfectly, because when the show would have been ended 8 weeks from now, that would have been June.
That's correct.
Right? And that would lead right into their update.
And
but
for some reason,
concerned.
Yeah, they were. I think they didn't think it was going to do very well. I'm glad it did well, because we even watched a couple weeks ago where I was like, you know what? I think it's going to be good. And it looks good. It looked good, and it was good. Right? It's not great, but it was good. I said it wasn't great. People are going to leave comments down below. Okay, so let's go on to the top stories.
Oh, that's the tippity top.
The tippity top. We're going to the tippity top. All right, so the first story is the future of Xbox looks like a lot like a PC. Now, I read an article today by Jez Corden, okay, where there's in talks. This is the rumor mill, Sarge. All these next 4 stories that we're talking about are all rumors. There's no proven fact that these things are going to happen in any way, shape, or form. I don't have a title card for this. But the future of Xbox looks like it's going to be a PC. Now, there's talks right now that they're in talks with Steam and Epic Game Store and GOG, and all of these things are going to be trying to run on the Xbox. Now, I read an article by Jez Corden today. He says, well, how is this going to work, right? Because if you could get the Xbox game he gave an example of Call of Duty, right? Call of Duty is on PC, and Call of Duty is also on Xbox. So do I play the Call of Duty PC version on my Xbox, or do I play Call of Duty on the Xbox version of Call of Duty? Okay. Another thing is, do you still play for online access, right? Do you still pay for live access if you're looking to play the games, right? Because PC, they don't have to pay online, but Xbox, you have to pay a fee to play online, right? So how do they fill this in? I personally said that they just raise the price of Game Pass. They get rid of the required money to pay online, and they just don't say you're paying for the online. It's just included into the price of Game Pass or whatnot. And they just make the price of Game Pass like $18 or $20 now instead of, whatever it is.
Are we on time, bro? I think we're on time. We said a year, right? We're on time, right?
We'll see what happens with the
18 months. We'll see.
So, what do you think? How do you think this will work if Xbox can play Steam games or Epic games or GOG games on the Xbox? Do you think there'll be limited? Certain like a curated pool of games that you can only play from Steam?
I'm not familiar with a lot of hardware. Right, I'll say it right out from the top. What I don't know is the proprietary software that what an Xbox actually is, and the software that runs an Xbox. If it's that close to a PC operating system, then I don't see why they wouldn't be able to do that. But at the same time, if that type of software does exist and it goes into the Xbox shell, then I feel that we're susceptible to all the other crazy viruses and ID theft things that are happening on PC now can happen on an Xbox. You know what I mean? Right. Like, I think the whole reason why you don't get all the problems you get on an Xbox is because the proprietary software that's being used on an Xbox is not like 100% PC. Even though we know the specs, basically, it is a mini PC. right? I just think the operating system is different. Now, if we're following Microsoft's plan, which is screens everywhere, wherever you want, we're going to play the game. I don't see how for the next system, I don't see how they wouldn't want all the operating systems to be the same.
Well, I think the problem is, like, for instance, and I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying, Paul. I just wonder, like, earlier today we were talking about this. If God of War is on Steam, can I then play God of War on my Xbox? Now, because it's digital and you're streaming it, does Sony sign a deal where saying you can't let this happen to go over to Xbox? It's not like they signed a deal because, again, the deal was, all right, we're releasing God of War onto Steam. And now Steam and PlayStation had that deal going on. Now Xbox comes into Steam and says, hey, we would like all the games on here. God of War just doesn't automatically go over. You have to make contracts and sign things to make sure. And I think they could just turn on a switch or off a switch and say, well, because this is coming from an Xbox, you can't access this game. You can't access PlayStation games on Steam because it's on an Xbox.
And this type of thing has already happened in the past where they had said openly that we couldn't do it. It's impossible as for do it. And then everyone freaked out. And then they did flick a switch. And then all of a sudden it could work. So we know that they don't advertise or talk about these things as if this idea about cross-platforming being a thing is in a cul-de-sac somewhere and it's got nowhere to go. So, like, we put the idea over here and there's only one way out. And if we can't get it to work, then that's the end of it. And I don't believe that for a moment. I don't believe for a moment that they have this idea of we're being cross-platform. I think the issue has to be is how do we divide the revenue stream?
Yeah, that's going to be
for people who are playing a game, right? I think it would almost be like,
what percentage do they get if
no, hang on. So you know how, like, you'll advertise, like some streamers advertise, like, hey, if you go right now and you buy Total War Warhammer 3, but you use my promo code, I'll get a percentage of the sale, right? That's like his ad he does. So on some level between Microsoft and Sony, however the person follows the line to get to the game is who gets paid. Right. So then it becomes this advertisement thing, and wherever they click to go from here to game, that's how they bill it, right? Well, this guy went here, and here, 30%. Or this guy went from here, 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 50%.
It's gonna be
how else do you keep track?
It's a logistic nightmare, I would think.
How else do you keep track? I mean, I don't think it's a logistical nightmare.
Well,
I think they know, just like for advertisements, they know where you're clicking, on what page you're clicking, and how you got to the page you clicked on.
But
they know all that.
If Steam, Epic, and GOG were all on the same thing, and I can go into the Xbox and play these games, all the games are still on all the platforms. So Call of Duty's on Epic, Call of Duty's on Steam, Call of Duty's on Xbox. It's like, so where am I playing? And then who gets the cut of what? And then are they getting a cut between the thing? I don't know, man. You guys are saying they can't block it. You say Sony has no rights to block it. How do you guys figure that the person that owns the game has no right to block what they want or where to go? Are you saying this because I know you guys are software guys and whatnot, but you're saying they can't block it in any way, shape, or form? I don't think it works that way. I think it works based on contracts signed and how long it's there for. Hence why, like on Game Pass, if Grand Theft Auto comes on, Microsoft paid them money to have it on Game Pass. And when they stop paying them money, they pull it off of Game Pass because it's there for a limited time. You can't tell me, well, Xbox is allowed to put it on Game Pass anytime they want because they already paid for it once. Like, it doesn't work that way, right? Like, if God of War is on Steam, they made a contract with Steam saying, yeah, we're going to put God of War on Steam. Just because Xbox can now play Steam games doesn't mean that God of War is automatically over there. They would have to have some sort of negotiation. It's got to be about contracts, guys. It can't just be, it's not the Wild West. Just because you have Steam doesn't mean you get to play all games from Steam everywhere.
I think, I think, and I know this is a simplistic way of looking at this, but I think cross-platforming is not that difficult. We've already discussed this in the past. We heard the arguments. They can do it. The idea is who gets the money, right? Now, in a perfect world, right, you would just say, It's two platforms. It's Sony and Microsoft. And so wherever they get the game from, it's a 50-50 split. We move on with our lives. But they never look at it that way. Ever. It's about greed, right? If I have a PlayStation game and it goes on PC, but the PC is a Microsoft Pro, like who's getting what now, right? How do you decide? That's why they have proprietary hardware to begin with, because it's a no-brainer. Well, I have an Xbox. Well, I have Xbox games. Xbox and Microsoft get the money. Same thing with Sony. But we want it to be, and this is why I laugh. They want it to be all screens. They said it. They don't want Xbox anymore as a box.
Right.
They want Game Pass as a service and Microsoft to be the screen. We already know this. So if that's your goal and you want everything to go across screen, then eventually you have to come up with some deal that you're splitting revenue with Sony.
Well, here's the thing. Paul says it's just because Xbox is becoming a PC. Correct. That's what the article said, right? If the PC is now, Xbox is a PC, then game, set, match, right? Because if you're out there to buy a console and your console can now play all the other game console platforms, if GOG comes on and Epic comes on and Steam comes on and I can play PlayStation games through Steam through the Xbox, then Xbox wins, right? Because that's one console that you don't even have to buy, because let's just say it's part of Game Pass. I can play a PlayStation game through Steam, through my television set because of Game Pass, through the cloud, right? And it's like, what?
Or dongle.
Right, or dongle, right? So it's interesting to see that if they can start playing PlayStation games through Xbox, through the back door, right? That would be, and they're forced to do it because PlayStation wants to make more money. So they're going to be their game is more on PC day and date.
But this is why I laugh, right? This is why I laugh. So PlayStation has a first party title. They release it on PlayStation and they say, you know what? We've reached the point. We now have to release it day and date on PC as well.
Right.
Okay.
So now it's on Xbox.
So PlayStation, right? So PlayStation, right? PlayStation releases a game on PlayStation, and it has to release day and date on PlayStation on PC as well.
On PC.
So now at that point, because Xbox is now a PC,
correct.
We're looking down the road.
It's on Xbox too now. That's right.
Right. Then it's automatically on Xbox too now, because our brains are wired to think that Xbox is its own box. It is not. It's a starting level PC.
Yeah, it's a cheaper PC.
Right. It's a cheaper PC. So now what you're saying is that PlayStation just released the game on PlayStation and Xbox
and PC,
and then everyone goes, who gets paid?
That's
now,
right.
My question is, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, if it's PlayStation's first party title and it's playing on Xbox,
it's playing on Steam.
PC,
it's playing on Steam.
Then Sony gets paid.
Right.
Sony gets paid.
And people on Xbox get to play it.
Right. Well, they get to play it if they buy Game Pass. They get to play it,
which is included into Steam. Right. In this hypothetical scenario, right?
I'm not sure this is a hypothetical as you think. I think we're close to this. I think we're close to this.
What do you mean Microsoft gets paid nothing? They made a deal with Steam. They're getting paid. You understand how that works, right? What do you think? It's just a gentleman handshake? All right. We're gonna put Xbox and Steam on. We're gonna allow Steam on our Xbox, and Steam's like, well, you're gonna have to give us a contract to sign something. We get 2%, 3%, 4%,
12%.
There's no way, Paul, that you think that Xbox is gonna come out with a system to allow the other competitors to be on their box, and then they're not gonna get a cut of that. That's not going to happen.
That works.
But that's not going to happen. The difference between the difference.
You would like to think that Microsoft gets paid nothing, but
yeah. What would the benefits be? It's not Steam on Xbox though. It's Steam running on Windows.
Right, but
Windows
it's
still coming through the Xbox.
It's Xbox. That's the discrepancy here, Paul. That's what we're trying to talk about. Is everyone's looking at the Xbox like it's a separate thing. Right, but down the road, they've already discussed it. The Xbox is not an Xbox. It's just a thing that allows you to play Steam and Windows games.
It's literally an Xbox. It's an X. Right. It's an X console. It's now a PC. It's not even an Xbox anymore.
It's spelled with an EX.
That's right. It's EX now. It's an Xbox. Yeah. It's a PC.
It's gonna be very strange because I don't know where they think they're gonna go with this. I'll say this. I don't even think that they know how to get out of this.
Look, from a customer standpoint, I honestly don't give a shit, right? Because I'm gonna turn my system on and I'm just gonna play the games, right? But for a podcast to have this conversation, like logistically, it's got to be a goddamn nightmare behind the scenes of what game can work where, what game they release where, who gets the percentages of what, right? It's an Xbox that's being a variable whatever you need it to be, right? Right. It's a whatever box. That's what it is. That's their new slogan. It's a whatever box.
The more I think about it, the more confused I get, because I'm trying to separate two companies as two separate proprietary hardware, and it's not going to be that way. Because if PlayStation wants you to buy their console and they make first-party titles, but they know that their market is capped at 150 million max, and not everybody who owns a PlayStation is going to buy every game. So they have to try to branch out. So they know eventually they're going to have to also release on PC. Now, whether or not they wait a year or they do day and date is not up to them at the moment. This has been up in the air for a while. They're deciding that. Xbox is saying, and they're slowly saying it to your face, we don't care where you play the game.
Yeah, we don't care.
We don't care. They've said it out loud, in front, in boldface, all day, all night, 24/7. They don't care where you play the game. All they care about is that you're looking at a screen that has Microsoft on it somewhere.
That's right.
And you're signed up for a service. That's all they care about.
That's it.
So PlayStation eventually has to say, well, if we're going to expand outside our 150 million units and actually make money, we're going to have to put it on PC. Oh, what's that? Microsoft is PC? Okay, then basically what you're saying is, when we're done arguing for the next hour and a half, is that PlayStation's releasing games on Xbox.
That's right.
Because it's the same name.
That's right.
It's the same. All right. Yep. I know everyone's confused about this. I'm confused about this. But if we take out the word Xbox and just say Microsoft,
it's a green computer.
It doesn't matter where PlayStation releases it. It's gonna be Microsoft somewhere.
Yeah, I think they take this, whatever the deal is, whatever it is, if it's Epic, Game Store, GOG, and Steam, they put it behind a paywall, whatever that is, right? Like if you want to play EA Play, okay, you got to pay extra for PC Ultimate, right? It's part of it, right? If you want to play this PC Ultimate, then you want to play your games on PC Game Pass, it's that second tier, right? I think if they go through with this would be part of that tier, be a higher tier. This is how they get paid. More people would come to Game Pass. More people would, whatever. Take Game Pass out of it. Xbox experience, whatever you want to call it, right? It'll be a paid wall to go play it, where you can access the Steam games and the GOG games. Again, if this happens, this is a rumor, right? So let's go on to the next story.
Yeah, it's a rumor.
Yeah,
but all roads lead down that rumor.
Sure.
It's not. We're not making it up. This is stuff that's been talked about for 2 years.
Yeah. So the next thing I want to talk about is rumors for Fallout. For Fallout.
Let's go back to Fallout.
No, we're not talking about Fallout. It's a lot of Fs. It's a lot of fucking Fs, right? Fortnite, huge leaks. Okay, huge leaks for like Fortnite. Okay, so they're talking about Fortnite. This is all we see. We see it now. Again, this is the internet, so take it with a grain of salt. Oh wait, I got a button for that. Hold on. Yeah, grain of salt.
Take it.
Yeah, it's a grain of salt.
Looking. I don't see it. Oh, there it is.
Okay. So this is a picture that they showed on the interweb here. Okay, and
has it been fact checked, bro?
This is the roadmap. Okay, and if you guys can't see it because it's behind us, but the top row is Lego Fortnite. Okay, roadmap. The next row is Battle Royale. The next row after that is the festival, and the bottom row is Rocket League. Okay, for inside the game. So what's coming into Fortnite is Fortnite Festival has Season 3 Billie Eilish, Season 4 is Metallica, Season 5 is Karol G, and Season 6 is Snoop Dogg. Okay, God bless Snoop Dogg, still making relevancy. Okay, for Lego Fortnite, they're getting the Star Wars Star Destroyer, okay, and then Klumbo. Okay, Battle Royale is getting Pirates of the Caribbean. Some seasons with new Sergeant Winter, it says in quotes, or just some old guy. new season with Doctor Doom in it. Chapter 2 OG and Chapter 6 launch. Okay. And then Rocket Racing is getting a volcanic temple themed season and futuristic sky themed season. So this all got leaked. Take it with a grain of salt. Don't know if it's actually true. I'm very interested in seeing what all the what's that Star Destroyer going to be? Is it going to be that you can build your own Star Destroyer? Are you on the Star Destroyer? Is it just like you can purchase the Star Destroyer from the microtransaction store to put it above? You know what I mean? Like, I know you're not interested in this, Sarge, but it's interesting that this is what a live service game looks like, right? What Fortnite's doing is what a live service game.
You lost me at a roadmap.
Well, technically, it's a road. It's not a roadmap. It's a leaked poster of a roadmap. Yeah. So, Metallica. How many? So wait, let me ask this. Okay, Billie Eilish, pretty new artist, right? Metallica. Okay, so you're telling me the age range of people playing Fortnite are 10-year-olds to 45-year-olds is what you're telling me, and in between is they're just kind of lost, right? Metallica. I don't think there's a kid under the age of 14 that's like, yeah, man, can't wait for that Metallica.
I don't think they have no idea who Metallica is.
They think it's a resource in Minecraft.
Yeah, that I believe.
Is that
that I believe. That I believe. It's a resource in Minecraft. That I believe.
Yeah, it's a leak. Yeah. So that's what's happening. The next rumor that's happening, okay, for a grain of salt, is that this is details about the upcoming Venom game. Okay, take this with a grain of salt. Okay, Carnage will be a villain. Okay, both Peter and Miles will be playable. Okay, along with Venom. Okay, the game will also cost around $50. The budget is $120 million, and the game is now eyeing a 2027 release window, which seems pretty freaking far off, right? We're talking 4 years or 3 years.
They just got started.
I guess. Okay, 3 years for $50, right? 120 million. I don't know if I believe all of this, right? I still believe that the Tangled Web or whatever that greater web that was supposed to come out that got leaked, that has to drop between now and 2027, right? The multiplayer that they said they canceled. I just feel like you got nothing coming out for 3 more years for Spider-Man, and then what? Spider-Man 3 is what, 2030? You know what I mean? I don't know. Do you think this is feasible, Sarge?
I don't know what the contracts are. I lost track. I thought that they had to release a game every so often, right? So does that put it close to them having to release another game?
Well, Insomniac has Wolverine coming out next year, 2025, right? So then there's a 2-year gap between 2025 and 2027 for Venom. So
no, I just thought that they had to release a Spider-Man game every so many years in order to keep it. You know?
That's the movie. That's the movie rights. Movie rights, they have to make a Spider-Man movie every 5 years.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's movie rights.
Yeah,
sorry,
movie rights. Yeah.
I got it confused. I thought that was
they
the same
thing. They don't
own
own Spider-Man for the gaming rights. They own Insomniac, who has a contract with Marvel for Spider-Man for the exclusivity.
All right,
but they don't own Spider-Man for games. A lot of people always say, "Well, Sony owns Spider-Man," and I'm like, "Yeah, for movie rights." Yeah, yep. And if they don't make a movie every 5 years, then they lose that. So, and they're getting close, but I think they have a loophole now. This is why they have the Spider-Verse. This is why they're doing Madam Web. This is because they have other characters they're using in that universe now. So they're
just sacrificing garbage in order to maintain
tax
write-offs. IP.
Yeah, tax write-offs so they can keep the big guy with them.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Make some shit so they can keep the big guy that can make billions. Yeah.
And just use the shitty movie as a write-off. I got you.
Correct. So the last rumor we got, Sarge, is that Sony, okay, take this with a grain of salt, okay? Sony in early talks to release Helldivers 2 on Xbox, it's claimed. Okay. Now, obviously, this all goes out the window if the Xbox becomes a PC because they don't have to ask them anything according to chat and according to the internet, right? They just take Helldivers over.
Release it, right?
They don't gotta ask anything. But if they don't get Steam on the Xbox, they actually might get their own version of Helldivers. Now, I don't see a problem with this in any way, shape, or form. I mean, obviously, I think Helldivers would be awesome if more people could play it. Okay, more people could play Helldivers. This is good for Sony. This is good for the game. This is good for Arrowhead, right? This is good for everybody. Good for the gamers.
Well, the fact that there's a rumor about them having talks about this says to you how popular this game was not supposed to be. Right? Because if the game was supposed to be popular, all of this would have been already discussed, and there would have been a timeline when the release date was going to come out. Right? This is a game that these guys were doing a job, decided to release a game in the middle of a clusterfuck of game releases that did really well out of nowhere. All of a sudden, everyone did the Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, what?
Like out of nowhere, this game did really well, and now all of a sudden we have to have talks to discuss whether or not the game's coming to console, because we can't let this golden goose just fly away.
Right, because they have a saturation point, right? There's not enough people buying the game on PlayStation anymore. The people that bought the game bought the game. People that bought the game on PC bought the game, and they're like, well, how do we keep this going? How do we get more?
Still hot, bro.
Right, and
gotta get it somewhere.
They can get another 2-3 million people off Xbox easily. Right, easy.
So rumor, yes. Plausible, yes. But can they close a deal? Is the question.
I think they do. Now, here's a prediction. Do you think this happens sooner rather than later? I mean, do you think they announce something at like Summer Game Fest this year and say Helldivers 2 coming to Xbox and we don't know then. Maybe the end of this year, maybe next year this time. Do you think they push it out sooner?
I've already told you. Right now, I don't know what the timeline has to be for my prediction to be correct or not. But I already said I'm not mad about it. I'm not trying to brag about it. I'm not trying to say I'm right about it. All I'm saying is, to me, because of the lull in games right now, Helldivers 2 is a flash in the pan. That's a cool game to play.
Yeah, it's very popular right now.
There's nothing else for me to get pulled away from. So if I use your logic and their logic, and I put it together, the answer is they want this game on Xbox as fast as humanly possible to benefit both parties. And so I think that before the end of this year, that Helldivers will be on Xbox, because they know the popularity of something like this isn't going to last forever. So they have to work out the kinks, whether or not the deal they're going to make is going to be soon enough that the same amount of people are going to be playing this game for the next 3 months over the summer when the kids are home, or it's not worth it. Let the game play out, and we're going to rely on the other titles that are coming out later in the year. That's the discussion right now. Will this game benefit us if we put it out as soon as possible, or are we just trying to get a deal made and it's going to fall off because other people are going to be playing different games? That's going to be the discussion.
Here's how I think they do it. I was going to say it, but Krebsy kind of said it in here, right? Launch it with potential big update. But this is how they implement it in the Helldiver universe, right? They're like, soldiers, we're being attacked from all sides. Super Earth needs more reinforcements. We've called backup. Boom. Xbox comes to the playing field, and now we have more democracy to spread, right? They do it with in-game, on Twitter. They're like, we need reinforcements, calling for help, and then boom, they will launch it for I think, look, take your blue and green shirts off for a second, fanboys, okay? It makes 100% sense, especially for a live service game, right? They want this game to succeed in the longer run. They want it to get as many platforms as possible. Hell, if you want to put it on Nintendo Switch, go ahead. And the Nintendo Switch 2, maybe possibility it could run on it, right? I would take this game and put it on as many platforms as possible, because the way the community is, the way the game is, it just thrives off of this. Do you know what I mean? So I think it's a smart move if Sony then actually puts it on to Game Pass. I do think we get it sooner. I think we get an announcement of some sort of announcement. I don't think it's going to be this year. I think they say something maybe this year, or maybe at the Video Game Awards show, and then it comes out sometime next year, which is still far off, but sooner rather than later. So, so that's that for Helldivers. Chat, let me know what you guys think. Do you think it's? I know some of you are like, it's never coming. Sony will never let it touch a green Xbox. So, it should hit Xbox, but I want a better source. Yeah, but we're just bullshitting about stories here. We didn't say that these things. We've
got a good percentage, though.
We have a very good percentage of stuff. Yeah,
we got a good percentage, though.
Hellspawn says Helldivers 2 will come to Xbox in December this year. Maybe. The next story I want to talk about is about Embracer Group. Now, I went back to a episode, I think it was 322, and I talked about Embracer Group and said, it's cool that they're grabbing all this stuff. Now, 322 is all the way back in like 2019, 2020, something like that. I think it is. I forget what it is. No, wait, we're in episode 393. We do 40. Yeah, so 2021, I think it's around. Okay.
Robert Jones, don't think for a moment like you're talking like that doesn't exist. You know damn well we are going to get Helldivers 2 copycats in the next 6 months because that game didn't take that long to make. You're going to get copycats. 100%. You're getting copycats.
Argus up above. You talk about the, if Sony is willing to accept Xbox games to their platform by choice, it's possible they decide to put a certain games over the Xbox as well, especially since Helldivers 2 is a second party, not first. Well, technically, it's a first party. Arrowhead, they don't own Arrowhead Studios, but they do own the Helldivers IP. Sony owns Helldivers. Like, they own the IP of Helldivers. They're
definitely holding on to it a little tighter now, bro.
Right.
They didn't give a shit about Helldivers 1 before. They own 2 came out like, I like.
Yeah, they own the IP, but they don't own the studio.
I like Helldivers now, my pretty.
Yeah, I think that Halo could do an ODST Helldivers. Absolutely. I think Star Wars could do it. I think a lot of games are going to start coming out copy pasta, right? But yeah, so we'll move on to Embracer Group, right? So back then I said Embracer Group, it's good that independent guys are picking up these guys, but then they started growing more and more. And around 2022, 2023, I started saying everyone's worried about Microsoft, but yet Embracer's just picking up. They have like 148 studios. They let go of so many people. They didn't get the $2 billion from the Arabian Prince from the scam that they had on the email, right? So they started firing people left and right. And now Embracer is trying to figure out how to save the company because they couldn't get the Prince of Persia to give them the money, right?
I haven't got one of those in a long time, bro. The Arabic Prince wants to give me money.
Yeah, he needs your help. He needs your help. Yeah,
he needs my help. Yeah, I remember those.
So they've done something that's kind of awkward. Now, I know a lot of people have been talking about the story, but they're not really talking about. I talked about it like I think they're doing this to sell it, okay? Because they didn't get the money they wanted to get. $2 billion was the deal they didn't get.
For what?
For the deal that they wanted to get from the Saudi Arabian guy.
I thought you were making fun of the email that says to click on this to get the money from the Prince.
No, I was making a reference that this was an actual real deal. Yeah, $2.1 billion. $2.1 billion they didn't go through from a Saudi Arabian. I don't know if he's a prince. I just made that up, right?
Well, he's definitely not a guy.
Yeah, it's not Steve that works the convenience store down the street. Yeah. Okay. So they missed out on the deal, right? So then they took this and they took the company and they separated it into 3 separate companies. Okay.
The Triforce of Power.
The
Triforce of Power.
The Triforce of Power, which is the Illuminati. Okay. So they made the Asmodee. Okay. Asmodee, which is a global leading tabletop game publisher to distribute the extensive studio network and IP catalog. They've separated all their game boards, like tabletop games, into one nice separate category, right?
Yep.
Then they took Coffee Stain and Friends, right? Because the other name they had, Coffee Stain, and every other game company, it was too long of a name, so they just said Coffee Stain, everyone knows, and Friends. It's like a TV show, Justice League and Friends, Spider-Man and Friends. It's Coffee Stain and Friends, okay? So Coffee Stain is a diverse gaming entity with dual focus on indie games, A and AA premium, right? They made that a nice little separate little catalog, okay? And then they made Middle-earth and Friends, which is the sequel to some sort of, Lord of the Rings game, right?
Uh-huh.
It's the journey that we made all friends along the way. So Middle-earth and Enterprises and Friends is a creative powerhouse of AAA game development. So I did a show earlier this week talking about this. I said, I think they did this because they're looking for buyers. Because you wouldn't separate these 3 things like this unless you were looking to offload a couple things, okay?
Yeah, but you noticed it wasn't just a separation by category, it's a separation by revenue as well.
Correct.
They all make about the same.
Well, and the problem with the tabletop is, if I was, let's say, Microsoft, and this was all just one conglomerate company, right? And let's say I was interested in like 5 games between AAA and independent companies. You're like, how much are you asking? Well, we're asking for $2.1 billion, right? Because that's what they asked for the guy, and it fell through. And Microsoft's like, I don't know. We don't really do anything with this tabletop stuff, right? We're buying stuff that we're not even going to use, right? We got to make a whole nother division and they don't want that, right? So Embracer's like, all right, well, what about if we make a separate category and just make this off over here, and then we just put the AAA? Xbox is like, well, we do have Game Pass, and we do need a lot of independent games that we can put on Game Pass, right? So that's an easy buy, right? Now, the AAA is a little bit more profitable now for Embracer because now they have a whole bunch of other buyers, right? And again, this is my thought process. If they was all together, Amazon would be like, I don't want it. Take-Two would be like, no, I'm not interested, right? Sony would be like, no, I'm not interested, because they don't want the other stuff. They're just looking for like the profitable of that group, right? They don't want the rest of the stuff. They get bad press. They have to fire 16,000 people just so they can get the one Middle Earth game, right? So now they've separated the 3 companies. Now that AAA company is a big buy because now Amazon can pick it up, and Amazon would love to pick it up because Amazon has the rights to Lord of the Rings for the entertainment portion, okay? They would love to pick up Middle Earth so they can have the game portion of stuff, right? So I can see Amazon picking up the AAA company and getting other companies as well. I can see Microsoft picking up that AAA company's portion as well. Okay, so there's a lot of other companies that can come in and pick that separate, and they don't have to worry about the tabletop or the independent games. Same, Sony might look at it and go, oh, we could pick up that AA, single A studios. That'd be nice pickup for us to put on PlayStation Plus or make exclusive, whatever. Okay, so do you think, Sarge, this is something that they're doing, or do you think they're really doing this to make profit, to really hone in on each of the specialties of each of these things?
No, because you wouldn't have to separate them like this if everyone was running well, right? So just like you say, if you got 5 studios working on something, 3 of them don't do well, one of them does amazing, and one of them does okay, and it still keeps the 5 afloat, right?
Right.
You're doing the same thing, except you divided it into divisions. And I believe this. I believe Embracer Group got too big. The guys in charge the guys in charge that pulled all their money together to say, we're going to buy a bunch of game companies, and we're going to make some cash, bro. Right? They've been doing this now for about 8 years, 10 years, and they got what they think they want out of it. And I think a lot of them are looking to get out. And so they did this move in order to make themselves more viable and attractive to buy. That's what this is.
Sure, Hasbro could pick up that whole tabletop section.
Absolutely.
Because Hasbro's looking to get more video game market.
Hasbro's in trouble, though. They've been in trouble for a while. Sure. But I agree with what you're saying.
Yeah. Well, GameWorks could pick them up. You know, some other company that does deals with...
But they it looks attractive. They got the revenue. Everything's all... Listen, the first quarter stuff just came out. They did the retooling just after the first quarter. Numbers came out. They put everybody in their right spots. They got their numbers in. Everyone can see what those 3 groups are doing. Right? We're just making games, bro.
Right. We just want to make a profit.
We're just making games.
It's just
right? That's what Embracer say. We're just making games.
Yeah, to me, it's very awkward the way they did this and the timing that they're doing this in. Right?
I think
fire a bunch of people, split the companies up. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you trim the fat.
Right.
You wrap up the presents for Christmas.
That's right.
And now you wait for someone to buy them.
Make them look nice and pretty. Tidy up your shit.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. That's exactly what this is.
I think the CEO looked at it and said, we bought too much. We did too much. We overextended ourselves. We didn't make good quality games. Saints Row and all of them kind of failed. They had to cancel some other projects. And they said, you know what? Let's make these nice. Let's get rid of 2 divisions, and then they just focus on one. I don't think they're going to sell all of them. I think they're looking to see if any buyers are out there. Hey, I noticed that you did the tabletop stuff. You interested in selling? Because everyone's always interested in selling, right? No one's selling until they are, because someone can offer them a lot of money and be like, hey, we'll give you this much. They're like, all right, that sounds good.
Yeah, but a lot of these guys who are involved in this, I don't think they're true gamers. They are guys who are just trying to run a business, buy low, sell high. I take 8 or 10 development studios. They make a bunch of games. They raise our value up. I get rid of the fat, raise the value up again, and then once I the company's valued at the number I want, I just sell them, right? That's the part of the industry that no one wants to talk about. You guys think about how, well, it's Publix. Publix just opens up a store. We sell groceries, and that's what we do. We're Publix. Yeah, but there are guys out there who run supermarkets and just build up supermarkets and then sell
the supermarkets. Yeah.
It's in any business. I buy something, I build it up, and then I get rid of it. They're all Gordon Gekko kind of guys, right? Oh, I'm sorry, not Gordon Gekko. Wrong analogy, because they bust up companies. Yeah, my bad.
They put the point is, they go for the don't pass line instead of the pass line.
But the point is that the gaming industry makes so much money. No matter how much we bitch, no matter how much we hate what's going on, no matter how much money we keep throwing at the screen because they keep giving it on all these special editions that make us all hot and fuzzy for it. Like, the name of the game is cash, right? Cash. However we can get a hold of it, they don't care how many people they're going to fire or let go or trade off. This is the game, right? In our world now, if you guys have been paying attention, a really good game is like the good parking spot at the mall. Like, that's the significance of a really good game. The handicap spot at the mall.
Right.
Awesome spot, as long as you got the sticker. But the rest of the mall on fire, selling stores, buying stores, combining stores, firing people. But that parking spot's amazing.
Right.
Right, to get into what we're doing right now, you have to just get the good space. Like, nobody cares, right? That's the issue. You want a good game, but you don't understand the destruction that's going on behind these doors.
Right.
For you to get your good game. Right. This is where we are now.
Krebsy says, but Hasbro could have bought them up before the separation if they truly wanted to. No, but do you understand? They don't want to buy all the other excess stuff they don't know about, right? As a company, you have to look at your pros and cons when you buy something and go,
your strengths.
Right. So if you're going to, because what most companies do, they buy a bunch of people and then they throw out what they don't know and then they use what they have. Well, obviously, there's not going to be a lot of buyers if they're all together, because you're limited to who can purchase what you have. But if you separate them in these nice little bow ties of each division, all of a sudden these people that weren't interested are now interested because it's more manageable to take these other divisions than taking the whole one lump sum.
Yep, absolutely. That's why they did it.
All right,
so they did it.
Let's go with a couple quick stories here. So Brotato has an update coming out. Brotato has a DLC and it's free. 4-player local co-op expansion incoming as well.
4-player.
Yeah, 4-player co-op. So
can't even fit on the screen. Where are you doing 4-player?
It's a new map. It's a new map and stuff like that. They're expanding the map.
Oh, so they zoom it out more.
Yeah, well, I don't know if it's bigger and it's zoomed out more.
I've unlocked 80-90% of the characters. I don't care anymore.
I haven't played that much. So another story we have is IGN and ID Xbox Digital Showcase returns April 29th. So next week we'll talk about this. But April 29th, 2024 at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. Get the latest updates in games like Vampire Survivor, Dungeons of Hitterberg, 33 Immortals, Lost Records Bloom, and Rage, and more. So that'll be coming out next week. So we'll cover that more on next week's show. We got an Xbox VR headset is on the way, but is limited edition on MetaQuest. So Zuckerberg came out earlier this week with a Twitter. It pissed me off, Sarge, because I don't know if they have it here. But Zuckerberg came out. The dude's worth $1 billion, like billions of dollars, right? He owns one of the biggest companies on planet Earth, and yet he's got a microphone. He's like, yeah, we have great things of MetaQuest. Like, he's holding a lavalier microphone in his fingers and talking. It doesn't even look like he brushed his hair. It's like, all right, guys, let's put that phone on me. Give me that lavalier. Let me talk. And I was just like, oh, for God's sakes. Like, can you just get a microphone? I mean, I'm poor, and I have this $99 microphone in front of me, and I use it every single day. Like, just put it in the back room somewhere, pull it out when you need to talk to somebody, instead of holding a microphone to your little... Anyway, that's a tangent that I just went off on. But now Xbox VR headset coming from MetaQuest. Okay, now my headset, my MetaQuest, it plays Xbox right now. It came out in December. It has a dedicated app It's fantastic. You can play within the realm that you're in, or you can play. It's better in MetaQuest 3 because you could sit in your room, in your living room, and you can still see your living room, and then you can have this giant screen. In the MetaQuest 2, it's black and white instead, but you also have this other room where you can see a giant movie screen and whatnot. Okay, they said they're coming out with dedicated headsets for working out, for office work. So what MetaQuest is trying to do now is that they're trying to make, instead of making a headset, let's say it's $500, $600, they're trying to make specific headsets, limited editions, okay? That is a small testing thing I would think they're doing. That if you're just a person that likes to work out and you want to work out, they'll make a specialty lighter on the head, not as thick as the other ones, sweatbands embedded into the stuff. So, you don't need all the servos or whatever else that's in there, right? So they're just selling just a workout headset, or they're just selling a gaming headset. Well, they're actually coming out with specifically a Microsoft Meta VR headset, okay? It says Microsoft is teaming up with MetaQuest to create a limited edition MetaQuest VR headset that is inspired by Xbox. So while both Microsoft and Meta aren't sharing full details yet, the VR headset sounds like it's simply going to be a skinned-down MetaQuest 3 for future unannounced versions that comes bundled with Xbox controller. Now, I don't know. Someone said this on the internet. Down the line, I don't know who it was. It may have been someone that looked like me but younger, okay, that said that you would just get the device with a controller and Game Pass, okay, included into the thing. And that's exactly what they've done. They've done a deal with MetaQuest where now you get the headset, you get a controller, and you get Game Pass for one lump sum or whatever, okay? Obviously, you got the recurring, but the first maybe month, 3 months, who knows what the deal is. That's the Game Pass, right? So now Samsung has the deal with the TVs. Facebook has I call them Facebook still. Okay. Facebook's got the deal with MetaQuest now with Xbox. They're going to make more of these deals going down the road, right? And again, everyone's like, no, they're going to make their own headset. I'm like, that's stupid if Microsoft comes out with their own headset, right? It's a niche market. You're not going to spend the research and development time to make these things to be the third best headset on the market, right? You're going to go with the people that are making the best headset on the market and then put your shit on the, right? Sign the deal and put the headset on, right? That's what it is. Now, obviously, it's a limited run, which is smart.
I want to test it. Because
PlayStation dumped billions of dollars of research and development in the PSVR 2, and they sold like 3 million copies, and they went, well, it's not selling very well. What do we do? Well, why don't we make it work with PC? Well, that sounds like a smart idea. And now they're revamping the PlayStation VR 2. Okay, Apple, who just made the $3,500 Vision Pro, stop making it because they're like, it's not selling very well. No shit.
No shit.
No shit.
No.
Who would have saw that coming? $3,500 headsets when people are like, I don't know, should I get a MetaQuest? It's $500.
What's the level of bougie people in California? How many are going to buy this? We're canceling it.
How many? 1,000? A million? No, 2 million? No, just okay. So we're canceling it. So they stopped making production of the MetaQuest. I'm sorry, the Vision Pro, right? So obviously Microsoft's like, yeah, let's not make a headset because it's a niche market. It will always be a niche market until they get it down. Until they get it down, which Amazon's done a pretty damn good job. But until they get it down to this,
right to that, yes,
it's not selling. It's a niche market, and even then, this will still be a niche market. But
but this will be a few more steps closer to Ready Player One.
Sure.
When we're on this level, when a pair of glasses is the screen, I don't have to wear a giant helmet. When the tech gets to that level, yeah, we're a few steps closer to Ready Player One. Absolutely.
So Melrose says, so Game Pass on PlayStation VR 2 VI desktop. Yeah, because if PC, we were just talking about if Steam's on Xbox, they can play PlayStation games, and if the PSVR 2 can now play PC games, then they can play Xbox games on the PlayStation. It would be exactly the same, Melrose.
Yes.
Yeah. It's a great experience. If you guys have a headset and didn't know, to play the games, Water knows what I'm talking about, right? Okuda Papa knows, right? Like, you put this headset on, man, you're immersed, right? You've worn it, and you haven't seen the Xbox playing. There's no lag, there's no latency. Just play the game. It's beautiful, right? And you have a 120-inch screen in front of you. You could be on the beach. You could be whatever. It's just it's amazing.
Can I play Hell Let Loose with it?
Yeah, I believe you could. Why wouldn't you be able to?
I don't know.
Hold It Loose is on Game Pass, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, then you can play it.
120 in screen.
Even bigger. You could sit in a movie theater.
You know how far I could see if I had that?
You could sit in a movie theater inside the headset and play the game. Yeah, 100%. Now you're playing a multiplayer game. There might be a little latency. At best, you have to have really good internet. You know what I mean? You're not jacking in. You're using Wi-Fi. Like most of the people that don't have their consoles next to their whip, but they don't have the cable plugged in. Blows my mind. Like why you would play multiplayer and not have your cable plugged in. But hey, whatever. You do you. Okay, so there's that story.
Just rage quit on Call of Duty because your latency is too long because you don't want to plug a fucking wire in.
You're like, son of a bitch! I got that. Hey, your cable's not plugged in. I don't want to plug it in. I want Wi-Fi. I want to feel free, but it's right next to it. Like you just have to 10 foot, $2. They could just plug in a cable from one to the other. Yeah, no, okay.
And get better internet speed and better millisecond. No, okay.
Yeah,
all you buddy.
People don't want to do it. I don't understand. Dupla says I didn't claim it was VR. I just said it was having a headset. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, the HoloLens. Yeah. All right. So the publisher behind the 2023's biggest Souls-like game, Sarge, announced that $60 million. Best year ever. We were awesome. Just 3 months after they laid off 10% of their staff. Okay. This is.
But before you go on to the rant, right?
I was going to let you rant on this one.
Yeah, but I don't need to rant. But didn't we have a discussion about this? Is after a game sells well, the people that they're firing aren't like the long-term people. Those are the contract workers that did the beginning phases of it, and then the contract ended, and they consider it a firing because the contract ended? Or is it actual people that have been there for years on end?
We don't know.
And yeah, but we've had this discussion before. Every time they say there's a firing, I don't believe it's 100% of these people who've been there for years and they just got the axe. Because someone wanted to buy a new yacht.
It could have been the delivery guy that was on staff. They got him coffee every day. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, but I believe for the majority. I believe for the majority of it, it's those contract guys, right? It's
I would think it's some of the staff. I would say it's less contractors and more full-time staff because they have to get rid of their benefits and stuff. You understand?
Yeah,
they would get rid of the.
I'm trying to be fair. I'm trying to be fair. It just seems like every time someone tells me it's their best year ever, they just fire a bunch of people. So, like, when do you not fire somebody? If you have the best year ever, record profits since the last 10 years, and you still fire 10% of your people, what is it you have to do on a yearly basis where you don't fire somebody?
I want to see the news reports of them talking about construction workers losing their jobs after they're done building the bridge or making the road. Why do you think your roads take really long time to get made? Because there's one guy digging a ditch and there's 3 guys standing around. That's called job security. Because if they dig that ditch super fast and they finish that hole, well, then they're done, and then the road gets paved. And when the road gets paved, they have to move on to their next job, and they don't want to do that. They want to milk it as much as they can. So I would assume that developers are trying to milk it as much as they can until the corporation comes out and says, all right, wrap it up. We got 13 months in our pocket. We got to put this out in early access, beta, unfinished, ready to go.
Doesn't matter.
What do you think, Steve? You're like, it's the best work I could do. And they're like, all right, Steve, well, there it is.
Is it playable?
Yeah.
I mean, I can move a guy around.
Yeah.
Send it out.
Send it out.
Send it out.
We made $2 million, the best profit ever. Steve, thanks for the hard work. You're fired.
You're out.
Yeah.
You're out.
Fucking Steve, right? Oh, well. Steve lost his job. So another company makes really good money and then fires their staff. Fantastic. Let's see what else we got here. We got Steam. Oh, Steam. Speaking of Steam will stop issuing refunds if you play 2 hours of the game before launch day. Okay, so what people were doing, Sarge, and this is you give people an inch, and they're gonna take it for 1,000 miles. Not even a mile. They're gonna rape you.
We gotta talk for our European friends too. They'll take the kilometer. Come on, man.
That's right. They will take advantage of you and your system. Every single thing.
If you take a centimeter, they're gonna take a kilometer. That's how you say it for Europe. That's how you say it.
All right, so Steam is going to stop issuing refunds. So 8 years ago, Valve began offering no questions asked refunds for any game you buy on Steam, as long as you ask for a refund within 14 days of the purchase. Okay, and hadn't played more than 2 hours of the actual game. But then Valve started letting you play games ahead of their release dates with the early access to advanced access programs introduced a loophole. People would play games for many hours and had launches and still requested a refund after. So today, Valve is closing that loophole, and your advanced access of early access playtime now counts against the 2 hour refund limit. So people were playing. They would get the early access game, Sarge. They would pay for 100 hours. Okay, they would pay for 100 hours, and then when the game launched, they go, "I would like my money back." Right? So they played the entire game, went through the whole early access. They could have it for like a year and a half. Okay, the game launches. As long as they didn't put 2 hours in, because it launched then. So now you have 14 days and 2 hours at that point when it launches for it to work. So people were taking advantage of the system. So Steam's like, this is the exact same thing Netflix was doing with the shared password thing. They're like, we're cracking down on that. You can't do that anymore because they were losing money. So Steam was losing money because they're like, wait a minute, why are we giving all these refunds after a certain period of time? They're like, oh, early access, beta, unfinished games, and people paid. So that's what they're doing. So they got rid of the loophole. So refunds on title purchase prior to release date. When you purchase a title on Steam prior to the release date, the 2-hour playtime limit for refunds will apply expected for beta release dates. For example, if you purchase a game in early access or advanced access, and playtime will count against the 2-hour refund limit. If you pre-purchase a title, which is non-playable, prior to the release date, and you can request a refund at any time prior to the release at the title, standard 14-day, 2-hour refund period, and will apply starting on the game's release date. So refunds on pre-purchase titles, when you pre-purchase a title on Steam and have paid for the title in advance, you can request a refund at any time prior to the release of the title, and the standard 14-day, 2-hour refund period also applies starting in the game's release date. So now it's early access, beta, whatever. You played for 2 hours, you can get your refund. But if you go over that 2 hours, that's it.
That's normal. That's normal.
Correct because scumbags like to do that.
Well, it's not scumbags. It's your early access bullshit.
Look, if you see a loophole, you're like, is the game out or not? I mean, it is. Early access then. Beta is out.
Doesn't matter. It's out.
Robert Jones will agree with me.
Out.
I don't think it's out. If a game's in early access beta, right? Hell, Bethesda games have been out for 5 years. It's still not complete.
Star Citizen's never been out yet.
That's correct. It's still not out yet.
Star Citizen never existed.
That's correct. 11 years. 11 years. It's still not released yet.
Okay.
Right. So think about that. Someone, obviously, I don't think it's on Steam, but you could play it for 11 years. And then you have 2 hours and 14 days. As soon as it comes out, they're like, we released it. They're like, I would like my money back. Even though they paid thousands of dollars towards ships and things that they
mental.
That would be absolutely insane. That's not going to happen, but let's go on, Tempest. So that is the refund policy for Steam. BlizzCon is canceled. So BlizzCon, famed convention, from Microsoft.
Like, is anyone surprised?
Annual held at Anaheim Convention Center in the United States. Blizzard Entertainment confirms at Windows Central that the decision to skip BlizzCon in 2024 was made by Blizzard and not from the higher-ups at Microsoft.
Sure. Bullshit.
Sure.
Bullshit.
Yeah. They're like, we've just been doing this every single year.
Forever.
Except for COVID. We've been doing it
forever.
for all the years, 15, 16 years. It just so happens it coincides that Microsoft bought us and we don't have a show this year.
We've decided. No more. We don't need it.
Yeah,
no more.
We just don't. Yeah. No one's ever going. What, you guys don't have conventions? Right? You don't have phones, right? So it says the Blizzard decision, we have explored different event formats in the past, and this isn't the first that we're skipping BlizzCon and trying something new. While we have great things to share in 2024, the timing just doesn't line up for one single event at the end of the year. A Blizzard spokesman tells Windows Central. You know what I said? This is what I think. Phil Spencer said, hey,
what do you guys got going on?
Yeah, what do you guys do? BlizzCon, what do you got? What do you got going on for BlizzCon? You don't have enough to fill a convention center with Diablo 4 content? All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to take all your stuff and we're going to make you do it just on Twitter. We're gonna have a couple of events, and you're just gonna announce World of Warcraft on console coming and gaming Game Pass. You're gonna tell everybody else it's coming. But hey, don't tell them that I told you. This is your own decision. All right, I'll see you guys later. All right. There's no way in hell Blizzard was like, yeah, BlizzCon, we're not doing it this year. Microsoft's like, we got to cut budget. You guys are either gonna lose your job or you're gonna cut BlizzCon this year. They're like, all right, BlizzCon's out.
It's no brainer, right? Yeah. What's in the budget? We don't have it, or we're not doing it.
All right.
Hey, Steve, can we do it on your couch? Can we just sit around and talk on your couch?
Yeah. There's no way in hell that I believe that Blizzard was like, yeah, we're not doing this.
I mean, but wait, the greatest company ever doesn't have something to tell us?
I mean, Overwatch right now has got nothing going on. World of Warcraft is changing up what World of Warcraft is. Did you hear this? They're making it less where it's not as strenuous to do raids, right? You can get PvE characters, or I'm sorry, NPC characters to help you do stuff now.
Oh God, here we go.
Okay, so they're casualifying.
It's the Star Wars galaxies now,
sort of, right? So they make it more approachable for other people. And then Diablo. I mean, Diablo launches this year, Sarge, this summer.
I mean, isn't their season coming out? It's gonna be amazing.
Season 4, which is actually season 1, is
season 1.
It launched last year in early access. Season 4 is the actual release date. This is what everyone's been waiting for. So you don't know this? Diablo 4.
So when did the language change?
No, it didn't change. It released last year. But now season 4 is the best season ever. It's coming out this year.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I got you. I thought you're being for real. Like,
no, there's no difference.
Everyone ignored the first 3 seasons, but this is the real season.
This is the real season because now the game is actually worked on, fixed, bug fixes, and now season 4 is going to be the season. This is it. This is like season 1 or 2.0.
So when does the was it Pillars of Eternity come out?
Next year, I think, doesn't it? Or does it come out this summer? I'm not sure. Hey, chat, when does Path of Exile 2 come out? Let's see. PoE 2.
I say Pillars of Eternity. I get them all.
Path of Exile. Path of Exile 2.
Path of Exile. Sorry.
There is no release date, right? Is there a release date?
It's early access, bro. Doesn't have to come out.
Oh, you'll have to wait until 2024 to play Path of Exile 2 beta, which is sort of like you waited to play Diablo beta, which was early access, which was released last year. It says the planned date is June 7th. Oh, well, there you go. So the beta for Path of Exile.
They want it to be D-Day. I got you.
June 7th. Yeah.
Oh. Well, 6 is the D-Day. So is June 7th Tuesday? Is that how it's going to work? Is that why?
I don't know. I'm going to have to look that up. Let me look that up real fast. Let's see. June 7th is a Friday. Okay. So that's the Path of Exile. Oh, I'm sorry, not Path of Exile. That's BlizzCon, not happening. This next one, I don't know what's happening with this one. I saw this title and I was intrigued. I was like, well, what's happening here? So the Escape from Tarkov group, players rage as developers lock co-op PvE behind a new $250 edition, despite promising access to all subsequent DLC in its old $150 edition.
Must have been the new CFO they hired.
It's got to
be somebody in the budget department that got hired new, and they said we got to make more money.
So let's read here, shall we? So Battlestate Games has unveiled the new $250 edition of Escape of Tarkov, okay, which includes access to the PvE mode with co-op support. First of all, I just want to make sure that I want the same energy level here, okay? Because Bethesda everyone hated Fallout 76. Because it was a multiplayer game, and you had to play for Fallout first to make it a single-player game, okay?
Yep.
So these guys have taken if you want to play PvE, you're going to have to pay $250 to get that, okay? To get that mode, okay? It's to support persistent progress that won't be reset when the game is wiped. It sounds pretty cool, but it's also quite few players upset about this because the mode only accessible with the new, very expensive edition of the game, even though the previously released $150 Edge of Darkness edition of Tarkov, which is no longer available. Make the problem, sell the solution. Oh, I'm sorry, you missed out the $150 version, but we do have this $250 version that you can purchase, and this comes with okay. So it promised a free access to all subsequent DLC. So Battlestate Games claims that the new mode doesn't qualify as DLC. It doesn't qualify as DLC, Sarge. DLC is just whatever we decide.
I'm sorry. Is there qualifications now for DLC?
Yes. You have to qualify for DLCs.
Okay.
An argument.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
An argument that is going over with Tarkov players about as well as you can expect. The addition of the PvE mode with no wipes is pretty big deal, as it stands that Tarkov is a PvP only game. This sounds like Sea of Thieves all over again, right? Oh. And people are so dedicated to defend that everyone wants to play PvP, and they're like, no one would play PvE. But yet PvE is so expansive that they're literally trying to charge you $250 because they don't want people. They're trying to block you from going. They're like, well, if you're going to go PvE, you got to pay $250 because we don't want everyone leaving because then the servers will be dead and no one will be playing PvP, right?
Right.
So it says in addition.
So what does that say about your PvP?
Well, this is exactly why they force people to have PvP fights in the PvE world in Sea of Thieves and other games, right? Because it's so vast, right? This is why Destiny for 10 years forced you to go play PvP because everyone wanted to play PvP. No, everyone just did the dailies and weeklies and said, I got to go in there and kill 10 guys. I got to kill 10 Guardians.
And that's how they maintained the servers.
That's exactly right. Okay,
that's
forced
correct.
you to play PvP. Okay,
that's correct.
So it says the addition of PvE mode with no wipes is a pretty big deal. Resetting players' progress, being able to explore the Chernobyl-like setting with friends without having to worry about getting popped off by other players is obviously appealing, especially for those of us who aren't quite as handy in fighting against other humans as we used to be. Well, there's a shit ton of cheaters also in PvP, and they want to get out of there, and they're like, oh, they can't wait for PvE. They're like, no, you can't leave. You got to pay $250.
I mean, just to backtrack for a moment, they didn't care. Bungie didn't care about PvP for so long that when they stopped caring about it altogether, everyone stopped caring about them caring.
That's correct. That's correct.
Right? It was half the game, and they did nothing to add to half the game.
Right.
And
so
everyone kept saying, "Why don't you add something?" And they were like, "We're not going to add something. Don't worry, we're going to make a whole other game. It's called Marathon. It's going to be awesome."
Krebsy says their Discord is on fire with everyone spamming copy pasta, and then he also says there's also editing their website, changing and then hiding info on it. Oh, that always looks good. Okay, so let's continue here. The problem with the new mode appears to be twofold. One is the Unheard Edition whopping $250 price, and two, Battlestate has declared a PvE mode is not DLC but a feature. Man, they're pulling some Todd Howard stuff with this thing, right? This is thus the people who sprung for the Edge of Darkness edition, which seemed pretty damn future-proof at $150. Don't get access. Owners of the Edge Darkness edition can upgrade to the Unheard edition, but that will cost them $100. No small amount to change for its own right. Right, you already paid the $150. Now you just need an extra $100 if you'd like to do it.
Another C note, bro. Throw it on the pile. Let's do this.
Come on, that's only one monkey glove from Call of Duty. Right? Yeah, it's just $20 more than a monkey glove. What are you guys complaining about? What, you guys don't have money? Right? So there you go. I don't think we have to read much more of this, Sarge. Another scumbag move by, well, I'll have to tell you, there's a lot of light bulbs in that studio, and they need you.
And they're all regular light bulbs.
That's
too.
right. They're not using LEDs.
They're not using LEDs.
No, they're using high-powered, draining energy.
Yep.
Right, I think they have like 10 lights in each cubicle.
Also called boomer bulbs.
Yeah,
you know, the ones that hum. Yeah. Those are the kind of bulbs that they need. Right?
It sounds like
them lights on, bro.
Sounds one of like those fly traps that you're out in the back porch in the north.
Yep.
I find this very I don't even play Tarkov. This is very off-putting. If I played this game, I would stop playing it immediately, because to tell me a company did this for editing software. There was, I forget the company's name, okay, where they charged a fee and they said if you paid this, then you would have it unlimited upgrades for the rest of it's a life pass, right? So you paid, I think it was like $250 for this life pass of this editing software. No matter how many upgrades they did, you would always get it because you were a true fan. You helped us from the beginning to get this company started, and you paid this, and then they said, well, the new updates don't count for that. And these are separate updates than that update. And if you want this, now you have to pay a subscription model.
Words and reasons.
Right.
Words and reasons.
Right. So you have to pay a subscription model to do this. This is exactly what this is, right?
Same thing.
Same exact thing. Okay. Saying to people, oh, $150, you'll never have to pay for anything ever again. All the content comes. And they're like, how do we get around this? Well, what about if we say this DLC is not DLC qualified? They're like, yeah, that's what we'll do.
We're qualifying DLC now.
Yeah. Amazing.
Can we do that? Yeah. Lawyers. No. We could do that.
Sarge, your microphone is so delayed now. Can you turn off your camera and turn it back on? Like click out and click back in. And see if you're linked up again. All right, say something.
Get out.
Yeah, it's better. All right, so yeah, Tarkov. More like dick off, right? They're trying to dick you around. Okay, so the game's fucking plagued with hackers. Well, they want to sell the solution. Remember, make the problem, sell the solution. Hackers, how do we fix this? Well, what about if we make a PvE mode? It's a good idea, Ted. I like you. Where do we pick you up from? Blizzard? Yeah, you come over here. What do you think we should do? I think we should make a PvE mode and then sell it for $250 and then call it unqualified DLC. And they're like, Ted, I don't know why Blizzard let you go. You're a genius, right? And that's what they did. They sold the problem or made the problem and then sold the solution. They're like, there's all these hackers and cheaters. Well, we don't have to fix that. We'll just get $250 for them to go play PvE mode. Fucking genius. Genius. Yeah. If you guys still play this after this, I don't know what to tell you. Speaking of genius, Sarge, we got to talk about this. It's 10 o'clock. I want to get these two stories by because we always talk about AI. Okay?
Yeah, sure.
Have you guys seen this? Okay. This is, you can now buy a flamethrower wielding robotic dog for less than $10,000. So that's like 5-star citizenships. Okay. And illegal for 40.
No, it's one ship.
It's legal. Oh, it's right. $48,000. That's right. It was $48,000 for that one DLC. Holy shit. I totally forgot about that. Okay. And it's legal in 48 U.S. states. You know what 2 states it's not legal in, Sarge?
New York and California.
I was going to say Hawaii and Alaska because they didn't want to ship it.
No, New York and California. New York and California.
I don't know what it is. I don't know if they tell it. Okay, the U.S. company is taking orders for world's first flamethrowing wielding robotic dog, known simply as...
I gotta figure out the company who's selling this stuff. I gotta buy stock immediately.
It's called Terminator. Okay, that's the name of the thing. Terminator. And it's somehow seemingly completely legal in own under federal law of most states. Okay, as reported...
It's a firearm. They're counting it as a mobile firearm, right?
Ars Technica, Cleveland-based company... Throw Flame is selling a Terminator for mere $9,420. I like the 420. You know they did that on purpose.
Yeah.
It's a 4-legged robotic companion that comes fully equipped with back-mounted, state-of-the-art flamethrower. It's a 37-pound robotic hellhound, which looks like a rip from the virtual pages of PlayStation game Horizon Zero Dawn. It's compatible with navigating using a LiDAR mapping and can also... be ordered to spray streams of fire at the press of a button, remotely over Wi-Fi or Bluetooth using handheld controllers. I'll tell you what, I can't wait to see this stuff burn people's houses down and lawns.
Oh my
inside.
God, I can't wait, bro. I cannot wait.
This is going to be amazing. Let's watch this in action, shall we? Let's watch this in action in full screen. Guys filling it up with gas. Okay, here it goes. Oh, yeah, look. The robotic dog. My 9-year-old would love this. Yeah.
This is great, Dad, for the whole family.
Yeah. Look, Dad, the dog's got a laser sight up pointer on it and a flamethrower. What could go wrong? Nothing. Look, I love how the background's on fire. What?
What the fuck? What the fuck?
Okay, so it says the firepower comes courtesy of the company's all-electric arc flamethrower, which uses a plasma arc system to ignite the stream of gasoline fueled up to the range of 30 feet. 30 feet flamethrower, amazing.
30 feet.
30 feet.
For that small unit, that's crazy, bro.
So here, let's look at some pictures of this. Okay, there's the nice flamethrower. Yeah, let's.
That's crazy.
Every neighbor's gonna have a patrolling dog in their front yard. Get off my lawn. Why does this guy's fencing look always charred?
Nobody's dog is gonna shit on their lawns again.
There's not gonna be a lawn. There's not gonna be a lawn. It's gonna be on fire the entire time. Why does my neighbor's house smell like gasoline and there's flame burnt marks everywhere? Okay.
I cannot wait for the videos to start rolling in.
I mean, here last week we were talking about the Boston Dynamics robot, the other robot. I didn't show you that on stream. The one with the
I know what it is though. Yeah. I saw it.
Right, wait, let me see this real fast, and then we'll get to the last story, which is also Boston Dynamics robots.
God. We are so close to Skynet, bro. It's not even funny.
This is the new robot. Okay, here's the new robot for the Boston Dynamics. Right? You guys shouldn't worry.
It's half Terminator, half HAL.
Yeah,
it looks like a giant HAL.
Yeah, this is literally a movie waiting to happen in real life. Look at this. Why does he have to turn like that? You know what I mean? Like, oh my God. Hi, Dave. It's like, ah!
Okay.
Okay.
Just imagine him with a gun in his hand.
Yeah, or a flamethrower.
Yeah. Bro.
Okay. So the last story I want to talk about, Sarge, is something
the military is creaming in their pants, bro.
They already have this stuff.
Robots with flamethrowers, and then robots. Come on,
robot dog. That's still like 10 years ago. Right. Military's got flying flamethrowing robots. Are you kidding me? Yeah. Because look at this. Okay. An AI-controlled F-16 has performed its first ever dogfight with human pilot, coming within 2,000 feet of each other at 1,200 miles per hour. Okay? An AI-controlled F-16. Why you need this, I have no idea, because they have drones that go out and bomb things thousands of miles away from a guy controlling nothing, right? He hits a button in the room, right? And then it shoots out of an airplane, a launcher, and then drops a nuke, and then comes back to the location, okay? So this is insane, okay? So the press release of the U.S. Air Force Test Pilot School revealed that they initially tested various defense maneuvers with the AI-controlled jet established initially in-flight safety before engaging in air-to-air simulated combat with the another F-16. In the skies above Edwards Air Force Base in California last year, the AI-controlled aircraft is a traditional piloted opponent, came within 2,000 feet of each other and simulated combat with the sounds like its fair distance until it realized that they were traveling at 1,200 miles per hour. Okay, which is insane. Think about that: a self-driving airplane that's going 1,200 miles an hour. And
here's the
what
worst
could go wrong.
Here's the worst part about it, right? If there's no human pilot in the cockpit, and then the plane bombs somebody and kills somebody,
who takes
there's
blame?
no blame. There's no blame, because you could plausible deniability. You don't know who had controlled the plane.
Yep, no one was in our. We didn't have a guy in that plane.
The plane's unmarked. There's no
flag
on it. There's no symbols on it.
That's not our plane,
right? And so there's nobody's at fault. A missile hits a house, kills a bunch of people, no fault, right?
That's right.
Because there's nobody flying the plane, right?
We got robotic.
You guys don't get what's about to happen, man. You guys don't get what's about to happen.
Robots with guns, dogs with flamethrowers.
Let's put the
self-driving planes.
Let's put the cherry on the cake, bro. Bring on the other one.
What's the other one? I already did 3.
No, the dude with the yeah. Put that on. Let's end that. Let's end with the cherry on the cake, bro.
Hold on. Let's see. Stream.
All right, so everyone should relax now, because while renegade robots,
I gotta find it. I gotta find it.
And ghost F-16s are screaming around the planet. Rest assured, the people will have us calm and secure in our homes with our next story.
I can't find it now, Sarge. It was on Twitter.
Oh, come on!
I gotta find it. It was like hours ago. Rebsy, can you find? You know what I'm talking about? If I tell you. It's the video of the guy who is being a girl
with the filter.
He has the filter of being a girl on stream. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, this is the best. This is the best.
I'll see if I can scroll down and try to find it again. I don't know what you would type in to try to find it. VTuber.
You won't know yet.
Yeah, this is.
Oh man, it's not going to be a fun decade, guys.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting.
It's a Hal. His whole face is Hal, and the rest of the robot's Terminator. You put a gun in that thing's hand, him and his dog patrolling the streets. What are you talking about, guys? Like, are we serious right now?
Hey, buddy.
You can't picture that robot with a dog with a flamethrower next to him walking down the street.
Well, the weird part is
Chicago doesn't need even police anymore. They just send the dog and that robot down the street.
The problem, Sarge, is that some guy walks into your house and you're like, why do you have a robot dog and a robot roommate? Oh, it's just my roommates. They're just they help pay the rent. It's like, what?
My 2 roommates, the flamethrowing dog and the Hal robot.
3's company. 2 robots and a guy. That's a whole new show. That's genius. Man, that's gonna be good. I can't find this. I'm trying to find it. There was a streamer. Okay, the streamer literally was a dude. He was a Korean guy. Okay, he's in the upper left or upper right hand corner, and he's got a chick on the screen. That's him. It's got a filter on it. Yeah. Is it a Chinese guy?
OnlyFans is over, guys.
I thought it was a Korean guy. I can't find it. Is that it, Krebsy? Thank you very much. We say this is yes, this is it. Thank you, Krebsy.
And this is how we're all going to stay calm, guys.
Okay.
With flame-throwing dogs and hell robots running around, and F-16s shooting overhead with nobody flying them. This is how we'll stay calm.
Okay. The dude is literally wearing glasses up at the upper corner that he's got, and then it's noticing his face, right? We've got some sort of right. So it looks like he's a chick.
You guys will never jerk off again.
Like, be careful. This might not even be who I am. I'm actually a smoking hot woman. What I am. This is the AI face that I put on.
This is insane, dude.
Yeah.
OnlyFans is over, bro.
I mean, talk about catfishing here.
Yeah.
I am glad that I'm married and have a kid, because dating life and hitting on people and finding out what's real or fake, you guys are in trouble. I feel sorry for anyone that's single out there. I do.
Thanks, bro.
I'm sorry. Because this is crazy.
This is every movie we've ever seen.
This is the worst it's going to be right now. Just think about that. This is the worst.
Worst
is going to be what you just saw, right? Yeah. When you see it 6 months from now, 1 year from now,
it'll be any celebrity you want. It'll be any celebrity you want.
They're already doing that. Okay. Yeah. So we like to give you guys a positive note at the end. Robots that are coming to kill you. AI taking over.
And then your own animation girl. Don't worry about it.
No girl's actually real anymore. You know. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for coming out, guys. Game on.
Have a good night. Fucking ridiculous. Guarantee that some straight-eyed idealist is thinking of doing away with justice system and letting the AI-controlled bots judge the jury and executioner. Oh, for sure. For sure. That's why we got RoboCop the movie. Are you kidding me? This is going to be real life. They're like, we don't need police officers anymore. We have the Mark II. And you're like, oh, all right, cool.
It'll be one human cop, 2 robots, and the flamethrower dog. Right? One cop walks around. He's got 2 robots next to him and the dog with him. He just walks around. Anyone got a problem? No, we're good. We stopped drinking an hour ago.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to drive my car. I'm going to blow my car up, and then I'm going to take a bus home. Don't worry.
Salty says, still looks super fake. Salty, bro, come on, man. The fact that this is even a thing, and you're like, it still looks fake. This is just,
you're not gonna know, bro.
There's people out there that don't even know now that they're talking to. You can change the voice, the way they look, right? I guarantee you, most of the people that have OnlyFans accounts,
exactly right, Salty.
Okay,
exactly right,
are not even real people. Okay. I saw the comments like, meh, now I can make money like a chick's on Twitch. Yeah, it's exactly right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Guys can make money on Twitch now.
Now it's a fair fight.
That's fair.
Yeah, now it's fair.
That's fair. I mean, what's to stop him from showing his breast, and he just puts a breast on for him? If he could put a face on, he could put a breast on, right? What's the difference? Oh. Just nuts, bro.
Yep. So, Generation X Gaming, weekly podcast that goes over a few of the top stories of the past week, and we rant along the way. Episode 393 is in the can. If you like what we do here, please make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, you can hit that membership button as little as $5. We're here Thursday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern. You can listen to us and watch us over on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Anchor.fm. And that's it. We thanks you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys on the next one. There is no show tomorrow with Lono. I think he's playing Stellar Blade, so there is no podcast tomorrow with him. I might do a stream tomorrow afternoon, but probably not. But tomorrow night, I would like to do a show about the entertainment stuff that's going on. But other than that, it's hard for me to do Fridays, so I'm going to try to get it out tomorrow. So it'll be live right here on this show. You guys have a great rest of your evening. Thanks for watching. Peace.
Game on, guys.
They're two brothers and gamers that have been playing games since the early 1980s. Combined, they have over 65 years experience. Join them each week as they discuss and rant about gaming and entertainment news. This is Generation X Gaming.